microphone, and then boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on
Fur coat Rhonda. Yeah, I didn't get the reference,
but you laughed.
I did because it was just, it was more quality than a random throwaway from you.
Yeah,
that it stopped me
in your tracks.
In my tracks.
You smell delicious.
Oh, thank you. You know what? It's funny.
What a delicious delivery.
What a lovely ball from Jason Ross.
Hello.
Hey now. Good morning.
I'm glad you're not your cantankerous self.
Cantankerous. Look at that. See, we're bringing all the words in, fitting them in like puzzle pieces. Welcome in, everybody. I am Dave. That is Jason, Christopher Laud, or as somebody said in the chat yesterday, Christopher space Laud, L-O-D.
Christopher Laud.
Christopher Laud. I like it. It is Tuesday, August 27th, one day before my bride's birthday.
Oh, wow.
She turns 28.
It is my mother's birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, Mrs. Laud.
Mrs. Laud. Oh, Lord.
Good morning, everybody. Special good morning to Chris's dog. I saw Chris's dog for the first time yesterday on the chat.
Brindago Silva.
What?
Brindago Silva.
Yeah, and it was also kind of wrapped in. That was a city blanket thing it was wrapped in, right?
It was a scarf that he got a hold of.
We got
I saw the posts of the station dogs.
Did you get
and I was guessing.
Did you get a dog request from the PD?
Yeah,
you were on that. Okay.
Yeah. I just had a picture of myself.
That's actually kind of funny now that you mention it. We should do pin the dog to the person.
I think I don't know. I feel pretty good about some of them.
The problem is I need to know who all submitted
No,
dogs.
it's better. You have to be able to guess without that.
Well, because I don't know, is Brendan's dog in there? Is Frankie's?
I think I know what Frankie's dog.
Okay.
Dogs,
plural. Am I the station leader with 3?
Gotta be.
I think I am.
believe.
I gotta be honest, 3, we're never doing 3 again.
Yeah.
2.
2's a good number.
Watkins might be close with animals.
Just total animals? What else does he have?
I know he's got at least a cat. He might have several cats.
Yeah.
No cats. I'm actually I've said this before. I'm actually really surprised you're not a cat guy.
Chris? My family never had cats.
Yeah, honestly, you seem to me like you'd be a cat guy.
I mean, I like cats.
Like Kyle Madsen was a cat guy, and of course he's.
So me and Kyle are the same.
You and Kyle, I'd say you and Kyle have a couple of similarities. Yes,
I feel like Alan would have been a cat guy.
I agree with you. Actually, that's a good call. I think Alan would be a cat guy.
He is a cat guy.
He is. Okay.
See, confirmed.
There you go. Confirmed. Good morning. Yeah, I feel good.
Good.
I actually feel good. I think I'm at the. I don't want to jinx it. I think I might be at the point now where I'm past the debilitating soreness.
That's like horseradish.
And the menu change is taking.
It was the 5-bean salad, wasn't it?
It was. The 5-bean salad is so good,
yeah.
And also so many fun after effects as well. I like to call it the musical salad.
Yeah,
my children are not fans. It's actually my favorite part of that is now that my daughter is a senior and she's very, she's just. Well, she's my little girl, but she's also becoming a very nice young lady. And she's, not prim and proper, but, she's a 16, soon to be 17-year-old girl. And it's just still so fun to mess with her.
Yeah.
Just to break down just to remind her she's still the little girl type of thing. And then Mason, I don't want to get off on that. Because I have to drive them everywhere and it sucks, but that's a whole different thing. I'm not really upset about that.
Wouldn't it be cool if you had a kid that could drive your other kid around?
So we had this. Okay, you brought that up. This actually came up yesterday afternoon. So I'm just going to guide you through the whole process. So there's a standing order with my daughter that before we even talk about her driving, right, she needs to have the fundamentals of life down, the basics. And one of them that we've always butted heads on is she needs to keep her room and the shared bathroom with her brother clean. We have a saying in the family called Avery spread because she spreads like a fungus everywhere in the house. And we find her backpacks on the couch and she spread all of her homework across the table. And she has a desk in her room. She has everything she needs. And in the bathroom,
what do you attribute that to?
Her spreading around.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay, I'm just asking.
I mean, I guess the implication there would be it's genetically passed on.
I'm just asking.
And perhaps I have an oversensitivity that I don't want her to go through the same struggles.
Great point, Jason.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that is a great point. So, anyways, itchy nose. Yesterday, she's in the kitchen rolling her eyes at me because she needs to do the dishes because it's her turn. And I have this discussion with her about I went up and I saw her room, which was clean yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, after just absolutely.
All right, let's go to DMV right now.
That's the whole thing. And I've even told her, I'm like, check it out. Keep your room organized for a month. And we'll talk. A month.
A month.
A month.
Wow.
A month.
That
Just a
is.
month. And the bathroom, where she has 900 of her, hair care products and brushes and God knows whatever. And my poor son has like a part of a drawer, that he goes into. Her clothes are
That's
everywhere.
fine.
Towels on
I don't even really need that.
I just need my toothbrush.
I just carry it with me.
Seriously. So, and by the way, he generally keeps his room pretty organized and clean. And they live next to each other. There's an example right there. So the following happens. I bring up to her while she's doing the dishes in the kitchen, sweetheart, I just went up to your room. It's already trashed again. We talked about it. Get the room clean, and then it's easy. Just be a little disciplined with your clothes. Put them away, dirty clothes, whatever. Keep everything clean. Okay. So we have this whole conversation. She immediately transfers into, hey, Daddy, I was thinking if I got my license, and then she had this idea about like how she could get, the car switcheroo and all these. She's trying to sell me on it. And I said, this is exactly why I'm not ready for you to drive yet, because you're just kind of stupid. And let me explain how. There's a standing order about your room. We just had this conversation about your room's not clean, and you transitioned into pitching me on a vehicle. Not only am I holding you not keeping your room clean on you, but the decision-making tree that you just went through to switch to pitching me on a car right after we had the room conversation, that's the common sense. You don't have the common sense. Mason is very common sense oriented, just almost too much. Avery's kind of a spaz, and she doesn't. And so for me, as a admittedly incredibly overprotective dad in some cases, I just worry, well, what happens when she's at a four-way stop and she thinks it's her turn and then somebody comes through and she's got to do something. She hits the gas pedal instead of the brake. What happens when she's got to merge and it's just a way of thinking. So I'm taking it in the shorts as far as being the Uber, but.
Two parts to this.
Yeah.
Does you think she'll grasp that next year, the year after? Like, when will that? You're obviously concerned about that. She's got to jump in at some point. Right.
There is a very real chance she's just never going to grasp it. There's just a very real chance she's going to run the clock out.
Yeah.
And then she'll be driving at 21, 22 when she gets out of college.
Yeah.
It's true. It is.
Yeah.
And I've told her before, look, I want your room clean. This isn't completely about your room. This is about what happens when you're older and you get an assignment at your job and it requires discipline and effort and organization, You don't have these skills. You're 96% there. Ready to, you're 96%. She's a good kid.
Yeah.
She really is truly a good kid. But let's try to get this 4% done.
Right.
And this is a big thing. It's organization. It's responsibility. It's put stuff in you. You have a walking calendar in your pocket. Put stuff down so you're not surprised. Stop procrastinating. Organize just a little bit. And I think it is.
I think you need to talk to some of the people around here.
Huh?
I think you need to talk to some of the people around here. Take away their cars.
I mean,
plus, do you have, that was the other part. Do you have a third car available?
No. And
so that would be an issue anyway.
This is where she is my daughter, because she has, and I might add partially successfully, really pushed the idea of, Daddy, I know you want to switch cars. So I could just take your car and then you can have like an awesome car. Because she knows I've always wanted to have like a 2-seater, but I can't do that with the kids because you can only fit one. But now she has a car, then she's that I'm like, hey, that benefits me. Now I'm listening, a little part of me there, but then it's like,
she knew what, but
maybe it's too much car for her. To which I would suggest, how about I give her my car,
and then you take my car.
I take your car, and then we're all good.
Honestly, that's a real, champagne problems. I get it. That's actually a real thought I've had, is
switching cars with Chris
is letting her take over my car. Because on one hand,
can't you monitor a lot of her driving too?
That's exactly right. I can monitor her driving. I can set speed limits on it. Not to mention, it's got, not only side mirrors, but when you put the blinker on, little side camera comes on for her blind spot. Like, it's got a lot of real cool safety features, but to Chris's point, it's also a lot of car. So I don't know, man. I don't know, but isn't there, I honestly, one thing I thought of is maybe there's a thing where I need to do the math. Like, maybe I'm just, when you take into account the new car payment and everything, I just kind of wonder how much it would cost if my kids just Ubered everywhere.
Don't forget insurance.
Yeah. So if you take the car payment plus insurance, I don't know, what is that, $500-600 a month, whatever that may be. If they Ubered everywhere, would we save money in the long run?
Aren't they interrupting nap time?
Yes, they are, Jason. They're always in. We had a meeting yesterday after the show when it's normal nap time. Right. And by the way, Monday nap time, which is the most important nap to me of the week.
Yeah.
And I was dragging on the way into that meeting. I was dragging. And then I had to go get them. And then he had to go to soccer practice, which is 20 minutes from the school. And the soccer practice is 20 minutes from home. So by the time I got home, it was like 4:30. That's too late for a nap.
Yeah.
And I was my night on dinner. Wah. Today, he gets out at 2, and I got to get him. His game doesn't start till 4. It's 20 minutes to the place. So not only am I going to his game, fine, great. Well, I'm going to watch his game, of course. We're going to get there an hour and a half early. I'm going to sit there and play with my shoes the whole time. God, I'm just such a whiny little bee.
You also have the company's
that's the thing. I can't even go there because of this.
Great. I'm literally going to be the only there.
We're going to an undisclosed location for a real cool company bonding event that I desperately wanted to go to, and I can't because I didn't wear protection 17 years ago.
You know what? I think I got it all figured out. I'll take my Mason to soccer. You really want to go to this, so I don't want to take that away from you.
I didn't think about that. Bribing friends of mine to shuttle my kids around. That's actually not a bad idea. We'll take a break. When we come back, we got a big August. Every year on August 27th, it's kind of a tradition for us. We have a really big show.
Yes.
And today is yet another, as we've got a huge wide receiver signing in the NFL. That's not from the Niners. Baseball history made yesterday. And also, where are the Niners in the ESPN Top 100? We'll do our previews in the NFL. And, look, you never know what's going to happen on the show. And that's why we do it. Fun and hijinks. It's Dave. It's Jason. It's Christopher Laud. We'll be right back with Leading Off next.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/SacktownSports.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hi, welcome to Staples.
Hi, my son's teacher emailed his back-to-school list. He needs crayons and a notebook for every subject.
Okay, no problem. With Staples Hot Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of items for back to school.
Oh, now they're saying he needs folders and glue.
You got it.
And markers?
Of course.
Oh, geez.
Might I suggest 2 carts?
Save big on back to school with Staples Hot Deals. Right now, 24-pack Crayola crayons and 2-pocket poly folders are only 50 cents each at Staples. NC 31 in-store only, limit 10 while supplies last.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Moments ago, the Dallas Cowboys and CeeDee Lamb reached agreement on a 4-year, $136 million contract that now makes Lamb the second highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. The deal includes a $38 million signing bonus, the largest ever given to a wide receiver, and he now will go and get back into training camp and begin setting his sights on the Cowboys' regular season opener in 13 days against the Cleveland Browns.
Adam Schefter of ESPN reporting CeeDee Lamb getting it done. I guess they were having productive conversations, Jason.
Yeah. Very productive for him, right? For CD.
Yeah. Well, CD is there's a joke there about investing in CDs and all that. I don't have it. Yeah. We'll workshop it later. Okay. He's rich though, man. Not that he was poor before, but $136 million. That is a 4-year deal. He is the second highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. That deal includes, and this is really what matters, a $38 million signing bonus. And that is the largest, by the way, ever given to a wide receiver. And $100 million guaranteed.
I don't know if that clouds things up more for the Niners and Aiyuk, if that makes it easier, but there's a number that's put out there.
I'm hoping that it was let's wait on CeeDee Lamb. Because Brandon Aiyuk is not CeeDee Lamb. And
I agree.
And if Brandon Aiyuk thinks he's CeeDee Lamb, and if Brandon Aiyuk thinks he deserves CeeDee Lamb money, then Brandon Aiyuk should go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And by the way, and maybe Brandon Aiyuk sitting there thinking, guys, let's talk about CeeDee Lamb's other receivers. Okay. And also, he's got one of the best quarterbacks in the league, perhaps the best quarterback in the NFC, some say, if not top 2, top 3, in Dak Prescott. I've gone through, the last pick in the draft, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, and I have to compete with Deebo Samuel and George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey and God knows whoever. CeeDee Lamb isn't really competing with anybody. Plus, the running back situation's been all screwed up the last couple of years with Zeke and then Tony Pollard last year. He's their number 1 target by far. If I was in, and again, I'm just trying to get into possible.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what his agent's saying.
Right. That's got to be their point. Look, put Brandon Aiyuk in Dallas and put him in that situation. Guess what? And then the Niners, I would hope, and John Lynch are probably saying, yeah, but he's not. And bad teams, let's just be honest, for the most part, have more money to spend than good teams. We have a lot of mouths to feed. If you want to go to Pittsburgh, if you want to go to wherever and get paid a ton and lose and live in snow and whatever, okay, we can't match that. But if you want to combine relevancy in the playoffs, quality of life, all comfortability, all that stuff, then
and a good pay. Like, it's not like they're nickel and diming him.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, that's really what it's going to come down to is if you want to stay with the Niners, you're not going to get all the money you possibly could.
Yeah.
It's not like he's got to take a massive discount, I would imagine, but almost, who we should call is Malik Monk.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guess what? Maybe we all know Monk could have gotten a little more money, but you can't put it when you're at that level. We've talked about this before, levels of money. The difference between having, a few thousand in the bank and $1 million in the bank. I would say this, few thousand in the bank versus 100,000 in the bank. Giant gap.
Right.
100,000 to $1 million, giant gap. $1 million to 10 million, pretty big gap.
Yeah.
50 million to 100 million is actually a lot more money.
Yeah.
But as far as lifestyle change, dude, once you get over 10 million, like I know, but once you get over 10 million,
you're buying whatever you want.
You're buying whatever you want. You're living wherever you want. You have multiple houses. Once you get over 50 million, you're sharing a plane with somebody. You're going wherever you want. You're getting you're eating at places that roll their steaks out before they're cooked to show you, and all the sides are a la carte.
Right.
And it costs $11.99 for asparagus. That's your world. So Brandon Aiyuk's already there. He's already eating at Morton's. He ain't eating at Outback. No offense to Outback. I'm just saying that's what he's doing. So what are we doing? I'm always on the side of the player. Honestly, Chris, how do you feel about this? And let me preface why I think your opinion's so important. I know, and I'm not making fun, I know you generally come from the view of the owners and the teams are rich as hell and they're not loyal. These players are finite career-wise. They need to get all the money they freaking can. I'm always mostly on the side of the players. And I think that's a very good place to come from. But in this Brandon Aiyuk situation, what would you advise him to do?
Do whatever you feel is right.
I mean,
I say you take every penny you can from an owner.
Okay, so you would say open the bidding, and if Pittsburgh's offering, I'm just presenting Pittsburgh's offering $120 million, and the Niners are offering $100 million or $110 million. Go to Pittsburgh.
No.
No.
I say you do. If you're a free agent, you go to where you want to go. You get as much money as you want. So, if you're more comfortable in California than you would be in Pennsylvania, stay in California for less.
So you're saying combine the money, but also with the where you desire. Happy. Okay.
Yeah. Does winning matter to you? You're probably in a better situation taking less here.
Yeah.
But is money more important? Go to wherever gives you the most. I do like your thoughts with the players according to their abilities, according to their needs. That's very good.
Thank you. Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
High formation, toss to McCaffrey. Big hole, and he runs out across the 30, breaks a tackle, he's gone! Touchdown!
CMC 23 finally detonates, breaching that defensive line right up the gut. That's a downhill toss, and is able to pull away from tackles inside. Guys dripping off his lower body. He sees the end zone. House call, Christian McCaffrey.
What?
There's a lot in there.
Can you get dripping off his body on the in your call?
Oh, yeah. God, we're going to need to clip up guys dripping off his lower body. That's fantastic. The ESPN Top 100, and we saw this yesterday. Very simple. They're ranking the top 100 NFL players going into the season. And
there's Niners dripping off that list.
There are. For the second year in a row, the Niners lead the league in top 100, including 5 in the top 30, including one. I was a little surprised. Not that I don't think he deserves it necessarily, but I was a little surprised he was in the top 30. Now, you know who doesn't have that many in the top 100? The Chiefs, and they're the defending champions. So you can have 50 in the top 100, but once again, it's great and crap to be a Niners fan. It's great because I wouldn't, they're great, but
it's great.
It's crap because it is literally championship or bust more than any other team in the NFL.
Yeah.
The Chiefs could not win the Super Bowl this year. It's like, well, they won.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're probably championship or bust, but it's not the hey, people are getting fired, losing jobs. It's like, well, took another run at it, just couldn't three-peat. No one's ever done it, and we couldn't do it either.
If the Chiefs didn't win the Super Bowl versus the Niners didn't win the Super Bowl, it will be far more hardcore in Niner land.
Correct.
Because they haven't done it.
Correct.
The Chiefs, have 19 Super Bowls in the last 5 years, it seems like.
It's a lot.
Screw them. Number 3, please.
Cut number 3.
And so we pick it up as a suspended game for game number 1. And now Danny Jansen, a month later, traded to the Boston Red Sox. And here he is behind the plate in a Red Sox uniform and ready to catch the rest of what was his at-bat. Now, the fascinating thing here is, had the count been 0-2, conceivably he could have caught his own strikeout. That would have gone into the book as his K.
Or he could have hit a home run, too, right?
So much could have happened.
I'm confused.
What? Confused about what? A guy came in and he caught his own at-bat for a different team.
I'm not confused. I saw Bugs Bunny do that.
Yeah, the one where he was taking on all the big guys with the cigars. I remember that exact episode.
Yeah.
They all had the cigars hanging out of their mouth in the 10 o'clock shadow and talk like this, eh?
Were those guys plumbers in their off time?
They were all plumbers. That's how it was back then. And Bugs just proceeded to beat the hell out of them.
Wow.
Bugs versus the world.
Yeah.
That was a great episode.
Batting first, Bugs Bunny. Playing second, Bugs Bunny. Shortstop, Bugs Bunny.
And what a pitcher.
Yes.
Caught his own. Yeah, it was the same thing, basically.
Wasn't he the umpire, too?
I think didn't he get in? Why do I feel like he got in some argument with the umpire?
Probably.
Hold
the mask.
We'll get into it again at 7:30. But yeah, so this dude is playing for the Red Sox. He was at bat. He's a catcher against the Blue Jays. 0-1 count, strike. Oh, it's raining. Bring the tarps out.
Yeah.
Months later, he has been traded from the Blue Jays to the Red Sox. He's a catcher. And now he obviously can't finish his at-bat because he's on the different team, but he was the guy that was at-bat when this thing got suspended. And he goes into the game, and instead of finishing his at-bat for the Blue Jays, he caught technically his own at-bat for the Red Sox. So not only does he become the first player, as we told you yesterday, to play for 2 different teams in the same game, he becomes the first, and I'm sure it's got to be last player.
Yeah.
To catch his own at bat.
I mean, it's never happened before. What if the rule, though, for some reason was if you get traded to the team that you're playing, like he had to finish the at bat as a Red Sox. So he's a Blue Jay.
Yeah.
But he had to finish his at bat by rule because it's still the game before.
But how would that? So what? He's wearing a Red Sox uniform but batting against his own team?
No, wait. Was he a Red Sox before? Or
I thought he was. No, he was a Blue Jay before.
Okay, so I'm saying he has to go back and wear a Blue Jay uniform to finish the at bat.
Well, yeah, but then he's just going to be like strike 1, strike 2, strike 3.
You think he wants to strike out?
I think if he did anything but. Remember that scene in Full Metal Jacket where they tied dude down and beat him with soaps? Yeah. That's what they're doing to him, which, could be fun.
First player ever to have that happen.
First player to ever be, I know I brought this up before and MC told me what the name of it was, but when they do that, when there's a name for it.
From both teams would do it.
Yeah, from both. And then Bugs Bunny comes in and breaks it all up. We'll take a break. When we come back, CeeDee Lamb signs a massive deal for the Cowboys. Record-breaking. What does that mean? Blanket party. Thank you, MC. Blanket party sounds fun.
Yeah, that doesn't.
I want to
go to a blanket party.
You guys will have a blanket party this weekend. And then you find out what it is. Yeah, it's not great. We'll be right back after this.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
They're going to give it. No, it's a play action. Purdy going to roll left, throw for the end zone. Caught by George Kittle. He has the hat trick tonight, a career high. 3 touchdown catches for George. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Tuesday, expect to see plenty of sunshine. After a comfortable morning start, we're off to a hot day today, an impact day due to the heat. Expect afternoon highs to peak around 98 to 101. You can get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Get Labor Day savings right now at Folsom Lake Kia. Coach Christie here reminding you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia for low payments now through Labor Day. FolsomLakeKia.com.
There are any number of reasons you might consider selling your home. To move closer to family, live within a smaller budget, or just wanting a change of scenery. Whatever your reasons, having to figure out all the various housing market trends in your area may not be what you signed up for. That's where an agent who is a realtor comes in. Realtors have the expertise to help you find the right price and navigate the process to sell your home in a way that's right for you. That's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is a serious heart condition. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. My HCM impacted how I felt and what I could do. So I asked my cardiologist about treatment advances that gave me new options. That conversation was big for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com to learn more.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb. For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, nonstop issue, and they're finally walking into the Good Feet store. Okay, the guy that came into my store last year that has had plantar fasciitis for 30 years. I looked at him, I said, "Are you kidding me? I've been here for 14. Where have you been?" I helped relieve a problem that's plagued him for 30 years. I mean, how do you not go home and talk about that?
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
Waddy here reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
Ooh, welcome back. Wrap it up. Have you ever seen I think it's CNN. They do a really cool thing I like. I shouldn't say it airs on CNN, but I think it's Tom Hanks's production company. Where they'll do the
90s or
the 90s, the 80s
sitcoms.
Right. And so they have this one, I don't think it's new. I think it's a couple years old, called The History of Comedy.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
They were rewriting those over there.
I think they did one on Saturday Night Live. No, it wasn't that. It was late night comedy.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Which was all. Those are fantastic.
I love it. Yeah, good clips.
Them just going through the history, and then you made me. What did you just say that made me? You just
wrap it up.
Oh, because that's a Chappelle skit. Mm-hmm. So they went from it was so cool how they drew a line from. Because this particular episode, I want to say, I think it was race in comedy. Mm-hmm. And so they went through, they called it the Chitlin circuit, because black comedians, legit black comedians, they could go into white clubs and perform, but they literally had to perform, dance, sing, but they couldn't do their stand-up. Right. And so Dick Gregory, which if you don't know Dick Gregory, he's got the big gray beard, and he's in a lot of docs, right? But if you actually go into the history of Dick Gregory and what he did, being invited on the Jack Parr show, and Jack Parr was the Johnny Carson of the day, just huge. And that's a huge break for any comedian, but he was like, no, because you don't let black people sit on the couch. We just do our show and then see you later. We don't get to sit on the couch like the other guests. And so finally Parr called and was like, dude, you can sit on the couch. And that was a huge thing. So they have Dick Gregory talking about a lot of the things that they tried to do to kind of open doors. And I don't know that there's any comedian that's opened more doors than Dick Gregory when you go back that far. And they drew this line just beautifully from Dick Gregory to Bill Cosby. Yeah, I know, but let's be honest. Back then, Bill Cosby was an absolute trailblazer for black comedians and the style of black comedy. Then from Cosby to Pryor, Richard Pryor, and one thing that doesn't get explored enough is like Richard Pryor used to be like pre-mustache. Richard Pryor was like all about visual comedy, and it was very, very a lot cleaner. And then something, they had Richard Pryor's daughter on, and she's like, yeah, and something hit with Dad one day, and he just said, screw it, I'm just gonna say what I think, which is like the origin story for so many heroes, And then Richard Pryor just starts. They were saying, Richard was the first one that wouldn't use innuendo, would actually go on stage and make fun of white people, like openly make fun of white people and make comedy out of it and be comfortable to do that. Then they end with, then they go from Pryor, they go from Dick Gregory to Bill Cosby to Richard Pryor. And then somebody, I forget who the speaker was, but they were like, and every once in a while in the world, once in every, 10 billion people, there's somebody that comes along that has the work ethic, the ability, the looks, the IQ, the everything, the Michael Jordan, if you will. And then they just go to Eddie Murphy on SNL and just start through Eddie's career. And I speak for you too. Like Eddie to me is the end all be all. And it was just so cool to see that line go through. And then Eddie, and they're like, now, Eddie, you take what all these other comedians kind of had to develop and do and open the doors. And then Eddie came out. Like Richard Pryor, they made a point of saying was always self-deprecating, right? Eddie was the opposite. Eddie had attitude. Eddie was in your face. Eddie is as close, I think, ever to a perfect comedian. And then they ran through to Chris Rock and then finally Dave Chappelle and the Chappelle Show and everything. But if you get a chance, sorry, rambling as usual here, but if you get a chance, the history of comedy is
very well done.
It is really, really, really well done. It's one of those things that you can set the season pass, the DVR to, and keep it, and then when you need something to watch, just flip it on.
Time, yeah.
CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee Lamb is yeah, I'm rich. Rich. He got paid, and good for him. As Jerry Jones got off the wallet. I shouldn't say that. You know what? Jerry Jones is a lot of things. He's never been afraid to pay his players. I don't think. I don't.
Yeah, they ultimately get there. Seemingly,
they do. $136 million over 4 years. What really matters is it's a $38 million signing bonus and $100 million guaranteed. And whenever you get a football contract, as we've all learned, you look at the years and you look at the guaranteed money. So at the very least, Jason, CeeDee Lamb is going to make $25 million as a wide receiver over the next 4 years. That's at the very least. And then he's got an option for another $36 million on top of that, which, to be honest, unless he gets hurt, he's going to realize all of that money.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it's incentive-based. It's just simply unless we cut you or trade you, you're getting all the money. The numbers are great. We've seen Justin Jefferson and what he got. And Jason, honestly, and a lot of other receivers. We talk about Brandon Aiyuk, but Jamar Chase is also sitting there going, well.
Yeah, exactly.
And I honestly think Jamar Chase has a better case for more money than Brandon Aiyuk in a weird way. Like Jamar Chase is.
He's been incredible. He's got a great quarterback. They have high expectations. Yes. They know they need all of the pieces, right? And Dallas knew that too.
Yes.
With CeeDee Lamb. And that's where I think it's a little bit different with Aiyuk. I don't know any other way to say it. I don't know that they absolutely need him. They want him.
Yes. I think that's a great way to put
I think they could exist in a world where they're still one of the Super Bowl favorites with or without Brandon Aiyuk, but I think they want it to be with. And the thing is, if it's without, they're trading him, right? And you're getting something in return. Now, whether or not you're getting a receiver that could play this year or future picks, that would be the way they would go. But again, I think the Cowboys needed CeeDee Lamb. I think the Bengals will need Jamar Chase. The Niners aren't quite in that exact need spot, I would say, for Aiyuk.
Which team needs who more, Dallas Lamb or Cincinnati Chase? Those both, by the way, sound like FBI agents in a 70s sitcom.
I guess I'm going to lean Lamb, even though I think they're both really, really important. But if I'm picking one, I'm going to say CeeDee Lamb for the Cowboys.
And Brandon Aiyuk, I think, with no offense or disrespect to him, but Brandon Aiyuk would be third probably on that list. It's really interesting. I have all three of them pulled up right now, and CeeDee Lamb leads everybody across the board, but I think it's important to remember CeeDee Lamb also has 21 more games played than Jamar Chase. His career has been around far longer, but when you look at, not far longer, but he's got a year on him. When you look at their yards per reception, they're incredibly close. As a matter of fact, CeeDee Lamb is last on that list at 13. Jamar Chase is at 14. Aiyuk is at 14.6. And I don't want to get too nerdy here, but I would make a case that season by season, average by average, I think Jamar Chase, to me, is every bit as valuable as Brandon as CeeDee Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cincinnati, they're the ones that are looking at the Lamb deal and saying, okay, we got to do that.
Right.
And so they'll probably and now Jamar Chase is probably asking for that deal plus a penny. I don't think that's the same with Brandon Aiyuk.
Right.
I hope that his agents aren't expecting the same deal. Because if they are, it's over. It ain't happening. If they are, that's it. It's
too much of an asking price.
It is too much of an asking price. Lamb is 24. Chase is 23. Weirdly enough, Ayuk's the oldest out of all of them at 25. What a geezer.
Old man.
And they all played about the same amount of games last year, 16, 16, and 17 for CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb just had a monster. He picked the right year to have a career year. So he deserves the money, and it'll be interesting to see where everybody follows suit. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll switch to baseball. Safe or out? Speaking of old men, one of them made their debut yesterday in baseball. Speaking of old men, somebody of the same age is on the exact opposite track. And who's the surprise team in baseball this year? I think we have at least one submission. We'll see if there's any others next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Lowe's knows Labor Day calls for big savings. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save up to $750 when you buy 2 or more select major appliances priced $396 or more. And My Lowe's Rewards members get 3 bags of premium 2 cubic foot color mulch for just $10. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 9/4 while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we make the dream of owning a new car easy and stress-free.
With prices that you just can't say no to. Save on our best selection of the year during the final days of the Honda Summer Event.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on reports.
Sacramento, Dirks Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Carmichael.
I want to close your eyes. for this.
Tyler Rich,
Be the difference.
Dasha,
Did your boobs stop working?
and more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
My kids call me Tom. So unnerving. Every day, the older one's like, "How you doing, Tom?" I go, "Hey, I'm not your fucking stepdad, all right? I wish I was. It'd be a lot easier, but I'm not."
From his multiple Netflix specials, comedian Tom Segura brings his new tour, Come Together, to the venue at Thunder Valley September 5th. Get tickets now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss Tom Segura, Come Together.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Wow, imagine working on a radio show and not checking off your segments on your little sheet.
You're ahead of me.
I'm way ahead of you. By the way, a special shout out to Christopher Laud. Went over to say hi to our country folks. And, of course, Tom has this S-eating grin on his face. He goes, "Hey, talked to any basketball players lately?" Thanks, Chris.
Well, have you?
No. As a matter of fact, I mean, not pros. Not active professionals. Yeah. Safe or out, question 1, please.
Brady Fiegel made his debut for the Pirates yesterday at 33. Safe or out? Old people making it to the pros is one of the coolest things in sports.
Somebody tweeted it once, is like, there's nothing that makes you feel older than an announcer being like, and coming out on the field, it's an absolute miracle that he can make it at this age. 34-year-old John Smith, you know. Yeah, 33, obviously, depending on your age, is not old whatsoever. But to make your
baseball, yeah,
you're making your debut. What was the movie with the pitcher that played by the Quaid?
The Rookie.
The Rookie, which based on a true story, cool story. This is great. I honestly think when you see somebody who there was a guy last year, I want to say, was it for the Pirates or somebody that played like 10 years in the minor leagues? I always think of that movie, and I always think of Kevin Costner in Bull Durham. Oh yeah, it was the 21 best days of my life in the show, or whatever he said. Like the work, we all understand the glitz and glamour of Major League sports, but for example, in baseball, when you're toiling around in your late 20s or early 30s, you either have a family at home that you're worried about supporting, or you're worried about having a family because you're getting older. One of the two. Neither are great places to be mentally. And you're riding buses. You're making a wage that ain't too. You're thinking to the back of your head, great, I'm going to go start at a company with no real skills, and I'm going to be the old guy. I mean, it's a real strain. So when they make it, I think it's a super cool thing.
The amount of people that have probably told that person to, like, hey, maybe you should try something else, or it's just not you've been
released.
And or your own internal dialogue, like, should I be doing this?
Yes.
But you're chasing something, and to get there, that's pretty spectacular.
I think that's another 30 for 30. There's been enough of these where you could interview the people and talk about their road, right?
Almost famous.
Call our guy Jason.
Yeah.
Other Jason. And what was the other one? It was Brothers.
Yes.
And old debuts. Let's just do it 30 for 30. Could Sacktown Sports produce a 30 for 30 on our own? We have the budget, right?
Yep.
Question 2, please.
My phone will not turn off.
Oh.
Speaking of 33-year-olds, 33-year-old All-Star MVP from last year, Elias Diaz, signed a minor league deal with the Padres. Safe or out? It's extremely weird when someone falls off that bad that quick.
That's safe. He was the All-Star MVP last year. Now, I'm not talking about injuries. You tear your Achilles or whatever, you're never the same. That's understandable, but I understand you. He just went from, I made the All-Star team. I'm the All-Star MVP. You're now like holding on for dear life to your job. What the hell? I'd love to ask.
Yeah.
What happened, man?
Shows you how fragile it can be, right?
Fragile.
It's
Italian.
It is. And good for him, though. Obviously, he's on the other end. It's like, I'm going to keep working to see if I can keep that job up and get back to the majors.
I again, another sort of comeback story in the making, if you will. I'm rooting for him though. Oh, these old
men.
Number 3, please.
The Royals have whittled down the Guardians' once double-digit lead to just one game. Safer out. KC is the surprise team of the season.
I think that's safe, Jason. And I'm not talking about bad. I mean, we could spend more time talking about like a bad surprise, but the Phillies aren't a surprise and the Braves are in second. Maybe the Mets, but the Mets shouldn't be a surprise with that payroll. But there's a 6-game lead in the East with the Phillies. The Brewers have a 10-game lead over the Cubs. And the Brewers, this edition of the Brewers are there every single year. Everyone knew the Dodgers were going to win the NL West, which, I mean, the Diamondbacks are within 3, but the Diamondbacks are the defending NL champions. I don't think there's a surprise in any of those. The Astros are up 3.5 on the Mariners, who have won 2 in a row under their new manager. But remember, the Astros sucked the
Early
first
on,
quarter of the season, but that's not a surprise. I think Cleveland being as good as they are,
their own division, Cleveland and Kansas City.
That's what I think. I think we said before the season started, the battle between the Yankees and the Orioles is going to be the best in the majors, and I think it has been. That's just a couple of Titans going at it, not Tennessee. 78-54 for the Yankees, which is the best record in all of baseball. No, it's not. The Dodgers have them by a half a game. Excuse me. And then 76-56 for the Orioles, just 2 back of them, and that they keep flip flopping. But the Royals, dude, 74-58. And I'm not saying it's a shock like when the A's would do it. You're like, where the hell did they come from? The Royals have been bad and have torn down basically since the Giants, since they got their World Series in, they lost to the Giants, that era of Royal. But they have completely rebuilt this squad. Sal Perez is stuck around.
Still there.
He's a borderline. I was looking at numbers the other day. He's a borderline Hall of Famer.
I think he is, actually.
I think you might be right. And it's all surrounded by truly one of the great young up-and-coming superstars of the game in Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah, having a phenomenal year.
They've done it the right way.
Yeah.
I love what they've done.
Yeah. Again, I don't know going in who the class of that division was. I mean, we have the worst team ever possibly in the White Sox. Twins have had an all right year, but it's just, I don't know who was favored to win that. But between these two, just not only how they've played, but what their record is and how much damage they might be able to do in the postseason. Been a good story.
I think out of all the sports, my most random, I want them to do well team that I have no reason are the Detroit Tigers. I have no
You don't know why?
So I've tried.
Your Sparky Anderson love.
I did love Sparky Anderson. One of my very first baseball memories was the Tigers Padres World Series when the Tigers started literally. I think it was 31-4 that year. Kurt Gibson.
I was a month old.
Well, I remember.
Yeah, we were all there.
And then I'm like, is it the home jerseys? Because to me, other than the Yankees, I think the Tigers are underrated.
The old school D.
Dude, so clean. Like that.
Wow. Can you just not be a child, Jason, for just one moment?
I didn't even catch it.
I did.
And then I saw you bobbing. You were laughing. Yes, Chris, the old school D. I love the logo. Yeah. And I think that's really where a lot of it starts. That's why part of the reason why the Yankees are so classic is that New York logo is sick.
Yeah. So, I love the old Tiger Stadium, the old one.
Absolutely. What is it now? It's not Comerica. That's the White Sox, right? Or is it? What is the Tigers?
It's Comerica unless they change the name.
Is it Comerica? Well, what the hell was the White Sox then? Why do I think
Comiskey? It was Comiskey.
I think it's U.S. Cellular,
yeah.
Or that's
You're
probably
right.
changed now too.
And I think maybe part of it, because I can't stand the Pistons. But that's because of their PA guy, probably.
Oh.
And then, and also the Bad Boys. I didn't like them.
Do you like the Lions?
I like actually, I kind of do, but it's because they're so loserly.
Yeah.
And I think that's just a Kings fan in me. And then Detroit is just so beaten down by perhaps deserved, everything is like what is it, like Stockton is the Detroit of California type of stuff. It's like, oh man, that's harsh.
Yeah.
So I think Maybe it's Tom Selleck and Mr. Baseball. I don't know. But I always Mark Kreidler's kid.
Yeah,
Ryan.
That's a good one.
There's a lot of reasons why. Might be Derek Lee's dad was the hitting coordinator for Mr. Baseball. And that came out when I was in like 7th grade. Yeah. So maybe there's like old school. I don't know. Maybe there's like these subliminal ties. But there's just certain teams that I feel like we talked about in football yesterday with the Bears and whoever, like the Tigers, the Yankees, the Red Sox, nobody really there. Nobody really there. The Cubs, Cardinals, the Dodgers, and the Giants. I feel like those are the tentpole teams.
Yeah.
And as much as I hate a lot of those teams, baseball's better off when they're good. I think. I could be wrong. We'll take a break. When we come back, the top 100 NFL players, according to ESPN. How many did the Niners have on the list? Are they leading the way? And hey, were there any Raiders on the list as well? Or were there multiple Raiders on the list? We'll tell you next.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Tuesday, expect to see plenty of sunshine. After a comfortable morning start, we're off to a hot day today, an impact day due to the heat. Expect afternoon highs to peak around 98 to 101. You can get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
This Labor Day, head to the Roseville Auto Mall for our biggest sale of the year. It's the only place where you'll choose from 20 top brands. Brought to you by 17 award-winning dealers. The giant Labor Day sale at the Roseville Auto Mall, where selection, savings, and satisfaction meet.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on. Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, when the A's blanked the Rays 3-0 on the 19th, it marked the A's 11th shutout this year, and that's third best in the American League. It also was their 54th win, so 16 more for 70. Now, the A's won just 50 games a year ago, so a 20-game improvement last year to this year, that would be pretty impressive.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver that includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay to stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sacktown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Labor Day savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebates.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Labor Day savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer. Ends 9/3/24.
Made a great deal of Maida.
Advanced Infusion Center, where wellness meets vitality. Unlock your full potential with our customized Liquid Vita vitamin IV drips tailored to fit your unique lifestyle. Whether you're an athlete aiming for peak performance or travel often and looking to stay healthy, we have an IV just for you. At Advanced Infusion Center, we understand that wellness isn't just one size fits all. That's why our expert team is here to personalize your infusion experience. Ready to elevate your wellness journey? Call Advanced Infusion Center today or visit us at advancedinfusion.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Me and my best friends will sit in the living room for 7 hours. I'll yell out an NFL player and somebody will yell out what college you went to. 7 hours, that's all we do. I'm like, Brady Quinn. And somebody's like, yes! That's all we do! That's it, dude. Ryan Lee. Let's go! Eric Decker. Let's go!
I feel seen. I feel so seen. As a stand-up, I don't even know who that is. I should know, but it doesn't say who it is. That's a great bit, though, because that is the and I don't want to say the dumb things guys do, because I'm sure there's girls out there that I don't know. But I would say we do a lot of dumb crap.
Yeah.
That's why years ago, because I've said this before, my younger, is it okay to call it your little, is it okay to call her your little sister if she's in her 40s?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So my little sister, I've said this before, is a showrunner for Dance Moms, and she's all into reality shows, and I am. So is my wife, and I'm just like, this is just garbage crap. This is trash TV for you women. Blah, 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 blah. And then she just got me, and she's like, you watch dudes play with balls, and you know where they all went to college, and you like know their fights. Not like, what is the difference? And she's like, it stopped me in my tracks. She's 100% right. Like 100% right. Everybody wastes time on their own stupid stuff. We do a 4-hour show every day on the stuff that we waste time doing that's stupid.
Right. We do it for work.
We do it for work.
Yeah.
We made a career, a life out of talking about stupid stuff. By the way, somebody did come up with the on the text line at 916-339-1140. The name of the Chicago White Sox stadium is Loserville.
Oh, that's it.
Boom.
It's actually Guaranteed Rate Field.
Is it guaranteed?
Such a lame name. I mean, you're getting paid, right? But Guaranteed Rate Field. Well, Levi Stadium, the big jean jacket, is where the 49ers play the defending NFC champions, the losers in overtime in the Super Bowl. And, ESPN has their top 100 out. Their top 100 list. And there's 8 49ers on it, Jason.
Wow. That's impressive.
There are 8.
More than any other team.
More than any other team. There are 100, and the Niners have 8. Now, what really got me was the top 30.
Okay.
Because at number 30, Brock Purdy.
30, Purdy for 30.
Purdy for 30.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy led the NFL in multiple major categories, it says, including QBR, yards per attempt, and touchdowns per attempt. The whole yards per attempt thing, why has that not killed off the whole, like, he just drops it off to the guy thing, and then they yak it away?
I felt like that was a thing with Garoppolo.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same thing with Purdy.
I feel like if you lead the entire league in yards per attempt, now I understand that can also be skewed because, well, hey, yards per attempt, isn't yards per attempt his total yardage divided by his attempts, correct?
Yeah.
So
it's not really skewed.
I'm trying to argue the other side because Brock Purdy could have a 3-yard drop, little drop off, and then Deebo Samuel breaks it for 34 yards, and that's a 34-yard attempt.
I got you.
That's all I'm saying. But the other numbers like air yards also hold that up, that he's not just a dink and dunk dude. Anyways, 9.6 yards per attempt, and he also led the league in touchdowns per attempt while setting is that right? Setting a franchise record for passing yards at 4,280?
I believe that.
Why did I not know that? I'm embarrassed. 42. He set a franchise record that's included Steve Young and Joe Montana at 4,280. Wow.
Well, they pass more now. A little bit is one thing. Two, well, you know what? He did miss the last game. He sat out. He didn't even play 17.
That's what I'm saying. That's wow. He's good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying he shouldn't be I'm not saying he shouldn't be in the top 30. I think you can make an argument because of the importance of the position. He should be higher. I'm surprised based on a lot of the counter arguments that he got into the top 30.
Yeah, because there's still plenty of people out there that question him as a quarterback. And I don't know how many other people in the top 30 are questioned. Now, maybe you might go, oh, I'd have him at 45 or I'd have him. But I probably think there's some people out there that think Brock Purdy shouldn't even be in the top 100.
I think you're right.
And he's 30. So it's not like he's 96.
No.
Number
28, Justin Herbert, quarterback. Number 27, Dak Prescott, quarterback. Hey, Max Crosby comes in at number 26. I like that.
Well, I'd have him way higher.
I'm sorry. I like the fact that he's in the top 30.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
Would you put Max Crosby ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Max Crosby, if I'm not mistaken, in the one from NFL.com, which was the players, I think he was in the top 10.
Top 10 overall.
Yeah, I think we were talking about that.
Well,
yeah.
So ESPN kind of screwed Max Crosby over. Wow. George Kittle, number 22.
Okay.
I can hear Raider fan right now going, hold on a second. Max Crosby is rated that many spots behind George Kittle. A lot of it, too, is subjective, like how important is the position and what do they do?
Right.
Now, if you gave me a choice, if I'm building a team for a year, that means taking age out and all that. If you gave me a choice between having Max Crosby or George Kittle, I'll think about it for a second, but I'm taking Max Crosby.
Yeah, I think that if I remember right, in that players one, I want to say they had Crosby,
Stills,
Nash, and Young.
And Young, wow.
I think they had Crosby, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. There might have been one more edge rush. Like it was the top 10 had like 3 or 4 of those guys. So I think that position is pretty important.
That's
anyway.
Interesting. Fred Warner is number 18. That's not much of a surprise. Sandwiched between just above him, Sauce Gardner, and then Nick Bosa at number 16. Trent Williams.
Would you have Bosa above Crosby?
Okay, so
I think that's a good debate.
It really is. Here's what I would say. I think if I have each of them playing at their best for a game, I'm going to take Bosa.
Okay.
I think if I had to choose a player overall, I would choose Crosby because Bosa just is he's not brittle, but I think Crosby. Okay, I'm going to stretch this here. So remember yesterday we were talking about, let's see if I can do this. Yesterday, Chris and I were talking about his guy, Erling Haaland, the scorer for Manchester City. Okay. And how I said it's funny about Erling Haaland because he just kind of is there, and then you wake up and he's got a couple of goals, and that's what he's supposed to do. And I'm not discounting what Bosa does on all the play, but it just seems like, I haven't really heard nothing from Bosa. Right. Oh, my God, he got a sack.
Yeah.
And Max Crosby, I feel like every other play he's involved.
That's the exact way I would describe it. Yeah. Now, I don't know that makes him, but I feel like you hear and see Crosby more than you do Bosa.
That's right.
Bosa's very good, though.
He's phenomenal, and he is fantastic.
Crosby wreaks havoc.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like, God, I don't want to say Crosby has more of an overall effect because that's so hard to quantify.
But it feels like it.
It does feel like it. It really does. But just straight pass rushing, I'm probably taking Bosa. If I know they're both healthy for a game, but again, overall, I'm taking Crosby. That's tough. That's tough for me to say. But you got to, you got to be subjective. Objective. CJ Stroud, number 15.
I feel like that's too high. Off 1 year. He was great last year, though.
Here's what they say. With the added playmakers, and by the way, this is true. With the added playmakers for Stroud, there's no reason to think he can't throw for close to 5,000 yards. Last year, he led the league in passing yards per game. He now has Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon. And you're going to have Diggs, Tank, Nico Collins, right. I think, to go with Mixon. That Texans team has some play makers on it. Mentioned Trent Williams at 14, Joe Burrow at 13, CeeDee Lamb is 11. Christian McCaffrey, the highest ranked 49er at number 9.
I think both Trent Williams and McCaffrey were like top 5 or 6 amongst the players. That's pretty low for Trent Williams.
Tyreek Hill at 8. Micah Parsons at 7. Jamar Chase at 6. Josh Allen at 5. Myles Garrett at 4. Justin Jefferson at 3. Lamar Jackson at 2. Take that, text guy. And the number 1 player in the league, I want to say, either the second year in a row, third year in a row, he's been there for a while, though, is Patrick Mahomes.
Do they have Lamar as QB or receiver?
Both.
Okay.
QB/WR. We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness. Caitlin Clark doing Caitlin Clark things. DeMar DeRozan is doing something not basketball, and more. We'll get to 3 for Madness next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. Local shows, the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Styles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, Kelly Brothers coming up Thursday. The meantime, 3 for Madness. I like to randomly pre-promote sometimes.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. What is the industry term for that? Is that what they call horizontal? There's like horizontal and vertical.
Yeah.
Is that horizontal? Come on, you're the manager.
I think that's vertical.
Is that vertical?
Yeah.
Vertical promote. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Try diagonal.
Ooh, that'd be fun. 3 for Madness. Christopher Law, question 1.
Caitlin Clark lifted Indiana to their 14th win, the most in 8 years. Has she sewn up the Rookie of the Year race?
She sewed.
Wow, because she's a woman, she's got to sew, huh?
So I hate you so much. I think she sewed it up a while ago. I do, and I think it's okay to have that conversation without ripping Angel Reese. I will say there's an Angel Reese number that is, what I think is kind of it's a problematic narrative just because I think it's a little unfair. Is that Angel Reese?
It might be my who's not.
Oh, we might have the same thing then. So
Yes.
This might be a preview. The idea is that Angel Reese gets so many rebounds because she's just picking up her own shots. Yeah. And then you see the video clips of her just not doing great around the basket.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody
Not great around the basket.
No. But here's the number I think Chris is talking about. Angel Reese is shooting 43.8%.
Ooh, that's not good.
With
43.8% for the entire season. Ooh.
Within 5 feet of the basket.
Oh.
It is by far the worst percentage in the WNBA. Just to give you an example, Brittany Griner shoots about 76%. Caitlin Clark shoots about 63%. Asia Wilson, 66%. To shoot 43.8%. Now, look, that doesn't mean Angel Reese isn't fantastic. That doesn't mean Angel Reese wouldn't have won Rookie of the Year in just about any other year. But Caitlin Clark is having, from an off-court impact, which shouldn't matter in the vote, and an on-court impact and the numbers, she's having one of the greatest rookie years ever.
Yeah. Came in with a bunch of hype, is backing up the hype. The league is vaulted at a whole nother level. That shouldn't be measurements in Rookie of the Year, but these are voters. These are people that see this and know all these numbers and then watch her play like this, setting records. It's over.
It is. And by the way, she won't, nor should she win it. She won't, nor should she win it. But I would also say if you extend the requirements and definitions of the term to everything, not only is Caitlin Clark the Rookie of the Year, Caitlin Clark is by far the MVP of the league by a mile.
With different metrics you're talking about.
I'm saying, like, I'll tell you right now, if every franchise started from scratch and had a draft, forget about age even, she would be like the Victor Wembanyama, Shaquille O'Neal, whatever combined of number 1 picks. I'm obviously also talking about like attendance, jersey
marketing,
sale,
all that stuff.
I'm talking about the whole picture, and that's no offense to Asia Wilson, who's also a crossover star, but it's actually even more insane to look at the effect Caitlin Clark has had when you compare it to Asia Wilson and how insanely good she is. And she's a crossover star, and it's still not close to Caitlin Clark.
Right.
That's the impact she's had. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
DeMar DeRozan has a new book coming out. Will you read it?
How do you know I haven't already?
It's not out yet.
How do you know I didn't get an advance copy?
Did you get an advance copy?
No, I would actually like to read this. Comes out September 10th, which just in time for Halloween gifts and or Christmas or Thanksgiving.
I love getting my gifts under the Halloween tree.
I do too. It's the pumpkin under the Halloween pumpkin.
Yeah.
In the Halloween pumpkin.
A great pumpkin. Yeah, exactly. You open it up. Oh my God. Although you do a jack-o'-lantern and you put the book in there. Probably not a good idea.
Gross.
The book's going to catch on fire.
Yeah. All those seeds.
So, it's called Above the Noise, My Story of Chasing Calm. And the forward by Greg Popovich. And here's a quote from it. As men, and especially Black men, we don't talk about our mental health enough. We struggle to admit when things aren't okay even when it's obvious to everybody around us. I've seen how toxic that can become. I've experienced it myself, keeping everything under wraps until your head and heart are full of fire and rage. I think that's fascinating subject matter and topic for an active NBA player to talk about and to write a book about. We know a little bit, obviously. We know he's from Compton. We know he, came up from it.
Yeah.
Now he's a father of 5, newest Sacramento King. I'm really excited to see DeMar DeRozan on the court. I might be more excited to see DeMar DeRozan off the court in Sacramento and the impact he's going to have. And I absolutely want to read his book because I think it'll give kind of an insight to the man himself.
You know what's interesting is, look, the league is filled with stars, and sometimes they kind of match the city. It just feels like it's near the end of his career, but he would have really done well here from the get-go, and he'll be fine here when he's here now. But doesn't he feel like a match for Sacramento?
He really does.
I don't know how else to quantify that, but he just feels like he is.
Well, and that's part of, why Monty and Wes have done such a good job is it's not just a matter of, hey, will DeMar DeRozan fit in on the floor with the Kings? I think a really, really underrated part of that move that we don't talk about enough, forget the numbers. They traded Harrison Barnes for DeMar DeRozan. Right. You upgraded numerically. It is almost impossible to replace the character and leadership of Harrison Barnes. It's a very short list of players in the NBA that could replace the character and the leadership of Harrison Barnes. DeMar DeRozan's on that list. And so I don't think, was it a coincidence? Maybe. But if it was a really happy coincidence that they traded out this monolith of character and class and leadership, and they bring in another one that is just universally almost worshipped by his by his fellow teammates and people in the league that cite him as an example all the time of what it means like to lead, to work hard, to do all the right things. So I think that's kind of cool that, no offense to Kevin Huerter or Donovan Mitchell or Davion Mitchell, or whomever, but the fact that of all people it was Barnes, and the fact that it was all people it was DeRozan that came in, I think it's cool.
I'm excited to hear about his story too, more about him.
100%. Here he was on a recent podcast with Jeff Teague, amongst other folks, talking about signing with Sacramento. And I'm playing.
I was part of the reason, even making that decision.
D Fox in my career, man. He too damn fast.
Listen, fast as shit.
Fast as shit.
Like,
he put me on the bench, man.
See?
That's when the first time I said, I think I want to come off the bench, man. They want to come against some little
be a
guys
role
that's not
model.
the same speed, man. I was like, yeah, I think we'll come off the bench. I remember I was like, Minnesota, I think you could probably start Tyus Jones if you want to.
Nah, yeah. I think that situation, it came out of nowhere after, season was over once free agency hit. I know it was a bunch of other options, but, when I just sat back and realized what the team needed, what they had, what they was fighting for, and how bad they want to win, it just fit the mold that, I want to be a part of, and, just being able to play with those guys, I'm looking forward to it, Monk,
yes, sir.
Murray,
Sabo.
It's a lot of those guys that's special, and I really want to be a part of that. I feel like, I definitely could help.
Let's go. Let's absolutely go. I'm here for it. Good for them. Good for him. Good for us.
Look at us.
Good for everybody. Yeah. Question 3, please.
Question 3.
Huddersfield travels to Walsall this afternoon in the second round of the Carabao Cup. Jason, who comes away with the win and why?
I'm not picking the Saddlers. Huddersfield Town.
That's right.
It's actually pronounced Soddlers.
Is it? Oh, okay. I was going to say that's the same thing. Yeah. Let's go. Terriers, baby.
Yeah.
Up the town.
They're going to have some delicious deliveries.
Just delicious.
Yeah.
And you know what? If we win this one, we could be facing Leicester or Sheffield United. Or I don't want to jinx it. I
You're a League Two team.
4 matches, 4 wins in all competitions, but I'm not trying.
What's the spread? Who's favored?
See if they have one. That's actually an interesting question. Do they? I would imagine, even though it's an away match. Let's see, Huddersfield. And by the way, if you want to weigh in on this, 1-800-920-1140.
100 Gambler.
We take everything. We talk all sports everywhere. Let's see, what are the odds here?
What are the odds?
With the bookies giving them a 54% probability of winning. Huddersfield Town is minus 118. Walsall is trading at plus 300. Okay, so there you go. They're clear favorites.
Okay.
So yeah, it's honestly, it's so funny that the whole. I mean, I know we have it now with the NBA Cup, but it's like, all right, we played on Saturday, which we did. Okay, now on Tuesday we have this cup, and then 2 weeks from now we have that cup, and then you have like all these different. Imagine if that was like that in the NFL or something. Like, oh, we're playing Bolivia. Yeah, a lot of cups.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
What?
Yes, we're playing Chelsea.
Right.
They were playing Real Madrid.
Right. Oh yeah. Just keep stacking up the hardware. I mean, we're gonna have to get a new trophy case at some point. They got to fix the money in that. They really have to. I was reading an article the other day. They really have to fix the whole money situation between the Premier League and the Championship. They have to, Jason. I know everybody cares about that.
Yes, they do.
When we return, a player catching his own at bat. How cool. I know. And the Dolphins got a big haul for Trey Lance. What was it? And where are we at now? Let's check in on that a couple years later. We'll do it next.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis. Put the frosting on the cake. Put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush. Makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Tuesday, expect to see plenty of sunshine. After a comfortable morning start, we're off to a hot day today, an impact day due to the heat. Expect afternoon highs to peak around 98 to 101. You can get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
This Labor Day, head to the Roseville Auto Mall for our biggest sale of the year. It's the only place where you'll choose from 20 top brands. Brought to you by 17 award-winning dealers. The giant Labor Day sale at the Roseville Auto Mall, where selection, savings, and satisfaction meet.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Carmelie.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha. And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Well, Chris is excited because Oasis is getting back together.
They're back.
They're back.
We're back.
And we're back.
I like Oasis. I do not understand, I do not understand why they are held in that. I feel like they should be in the Hall of Really Good Bands. But they're like, okay, so there's like Beatles, Taylor Swift, Michael Jackson level.
Taylor Swift is okay. So you're just saying like
saying like fervor and freaking out and all that, not
fervor,
not nothing else. And then there's like I don't know, like Paul McCartney, Pearl Jam, Rolling Stones, Eagles.
Paul McCartney on there twice. Interesting.
And Paul McCartney, Paul McCartney is on there twice. But then I feel like Oasis should be like a third level, like with like Muse, Coldplay, maybe Dave Matthews Band, that type of thing. But Oasis, like people are losing their minds.
Like there's not a Coldplay without Oasis.
There's not an Oasis without the Beatles. Though.
There's
100%. Like they themselves are like, yeah, we're ripping them off completely.
That's Liam.
Like we're 100% ripping them off. Like 100% ripping.
That's not true. Liam Gallagher says he is a reincarnation of John Lennon.
Even wearing the glasses, the song Wonderwall. I need a palate cleanser here. Here's Tom Wilson, the guy who played Biff Tannen, with a little song about what people say to him publicly. You've seen this, right? That's great.
When I'm flying in a plane or I'm on the street, there's a lot of friendly people that I like to meet. They shake my hand but never ask my name, and they start asking questions that are always the same. Hey, what's Michael J. Fox like? He's nice. What's Christopher Lloyd like? Kinda quiet. What's Crispin Glover like? Unusual. Stop asking me the question. Went to the bar mitzvah of my nephew Josh. Now I'm not Jewish, but I like to not. Put on my yarmulke, started to pray. When the rabbi leaned over and I heard him say, hey, was that real manure? No, it wasn't. How was that DeLorean? A piece of garbage. Do those hoverboards really fly? It's a movie. Stop asking me the question. Can we take your picture? Come on, look mean. Would you call my friend a butthead on his answering machine? Questions fill my head. I went to my doctor said, what does a key grip do? Set up lights. What does the best boy do? Help the key grip. What does a producer do? I don't know. Stop asking me the question. Do you all hang out together? No, we don't. How's Crispin Glover? I never talked to him. Back to the Future 4. Not happening. Stop asking me the question. Hey, who's the nicest famous guy you know? Adam Sandler. Who is the biggest?
I can't. Oh, I think it's his jerk. Sorry.
Gary Busey. How much money do you make? More than you do. So stop asking me the question.
I love that.
Yeah, it's well done.
Did he ever do anything else?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, he's in Blood In, Blood Out.
Oh, I forgot.
Sorry. Camp Nowhere.
I forgot.
Has he done anything else?
How can I forget about Blood In, Blood Out?
Is that the sequel?
That
just Blood In first.
That was my first movie showing at the theater that we're going to.
Really? Blood In, Blood Out, starring other than him?
Damian Chapa.
Oh, love it. By the way, you can add really, really even richer to the Kelsey Brothers, as they have signed a deal with Amazon for their podcast that will pay them.
This seems like a cash grab.
More than $100 million.
Cash grab.
Over 3 years.
I think we saw why Jason retired.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I look at the show we do for 4 hours a day, and I look at what they do. They have a higher reach, and they're better, and whatever. I admit it. God, are they $100 million better, though? What if it was like, if they are 98 times the show we are, which is a lot, and they might be. Like, I'm not disrespecting them. But then can we get 2 million, Amazon?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I'd sign.
I would absolutely sign for that.
Yeah.
Get on it, Bezos.
How much would Chris get?
Of the $2 million?
Yeah.
Well, I get $1 million. You get $1 million.
Don't like where this is going.
Okay. What about? Okay. Would it be a 902? Is that fair?
I'll take it.
He said it.
Okay.
I was honestly going to go. I was going to go down to an even split. That's just the art of negotiation.
Yeah.
So late David Stern said, hey, life is negotiation.
Yeah, he agreed though. So let's go.
He agreed. It's in right. It's recorded.
Yes.
That's all I need.
Even better.
Trey Lance was traded I should say the third overall pick in the 2021 draft was traded to the 49ers. The 3 picks that the Dolphins got ended up being Jalen Waddle.
Mm-hmm.
That was in 21. 2022, they used it to trade for Tyreek Hill. In 2023, they used that pick to trade for Bradley Chubb. Wow. So when you settle the everything else,
score,
they got Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and Bradley Chubb for the rights to Trey Lance. It is amazing that we're sitting here 3 years later, and the 49ers have 2 NFC championships and 6 playoff wins, and the Dolphins have yet to win a playoff game. But that is a haul.
Yeah, and that's the kind of move that could absolutely cripple a franchise.
Yes. Now, look, where are the Dolphins going to be and where are the Niners going to be in 3 years, 4 years? That the jury's still way, way open on that.
Right.
That is a fireable general manager offense.
Good thing they've won a ton.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason. Normally, that GM is rolling around with a guitar like Biff Tannen right now.
Now, what's odd about that draft, remember, what's interesting is Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. I think there's one more that was picked that early. Maybe that's the 3, but they're all on team 2 already.
I feel like you're right. What did you say? 2021, right?
Yeah.
I think we're missing a quarterback. 2021 NFL draft. You said what? Mac Jones, Trey Lance,
Justin Fields, all already on second team.
You're talking about after Trey Lance, right?
No, who went first?
Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, so he's the one. Actually, he was the other quarterback.
And then Zach Wilson.
There you go.
That's the one I think you were thinking of.
So Zach Wilson, I mean, it's not that long ago, 3 seasons ago, to have Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, and Justin Fields, all top 10 picks, all already on their second team.
That is insane. I mean, it really, truly is insane.
So, with the exception of Lawrence, who the Niners could not have taken because he was gone.
Right.
I mean,
in the meantime, Niner fans are feeling their blood pressure rise a little bit because we all remember when they traded up with the Bears for the rights to the number 2 pick and grabbed Solomon Thomas in the Patrick Mahomes draft when Mahomes went, I think, 13th to the Chiefs.
13th or 10th, somewhere in there. Yeah, whatever it was.
There, yeah. Anyways, so that happened. A couple of other notes for you, Jason Ross. Where are we at? 37-30. Okay, we have a second. Hall of Fame probability, according to Basketball Reference. There are 4 players, gentlemen, that have a 100%, according to Basketball Reference, Hall of Fame probability that are active right now. Can you name the 4?
I think I got 3. LeBron James.
Correct.
Steph Curry.
That's correct.
Kevin Durant.
That is correct. Those are the 3. The 4th one, when I say it, you'd be like, oh, yeah, of course. Absolutely. I'll say this. In the last 3 weeks, I have said that he is top 5 all-time at his position. Top 5 all-time at his position right now.
Jokic isn't a 100%?
Jokic, according to this, look, I'm not saying I agree with it. Jokic, according to this, 98.04. By the way, he's 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Really underrating Jokic's value, I think.
In fact,
so wait, so if his career ends today,
I know,
saying that he will not make, or does he have to do something worse?
I don't even there's one player in NBA history, one and one only, that other than active players, that have won an MVP and won't make the Hall of Fame, and that's Derrick Rose. Every other MVP ever.
And he's got 3.
And he's got 3.
And a title.
And he's still in his prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. The other one is Chris Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. At 99.99, James Harden. Ugh. But
yeah,
it's true.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Russ Westbrook just behind him. Anthony Davis, number 7 at 99.6. Dame Lillard, 98.7. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, of the people that make up the 90% above club, Antetokounmpo, Jokic, Paul George, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard. If you're wondering where any Sacramento Kings are, oh, by the way, Draymond Green, 77%. DeMar DeRozan is at 46.35%.
That's it?
That's it. By the way, he's 5 percentage points ahead. See, the way they did this is it's a weird thing. I think they're just using stats.
Okay.
Because below in 21st place at 41% is Luka Doncic.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take that. I believe.
I mean, but the whole thing is like we all know he's going to be a Hall of Famer. But
once he leaves Dallas and probably wins the championship as someone else is number 1.
Number 31 on the list. Domantas Sabonis.
Okay.
At 6.69%. This is the weirdest thing on this list. You know who the player above him is at 7%? No, you don't. I could give you all day, but it's hilarious. Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas.
Our Isaiah Thomas?
Our Isaiah Thomas. Those are the only Sacramento Kings that appear on the list. Incidentally, number 50, Zach LaVine at 0.25. So there's a chance.
You're saying there's a chance.
There's 100% a chance. We will take a break. When we return, let's get into the AFC East preview. That's what we're going to do today for a few. And as we go along the list, Jason, as we lead up to the start of the NFL season, we'll let people know exactly what's going to happen to these divisions. Plus, leading off, Manti Te'o, his preview for the NFC West, which I know we're not doing today, but his preview for the NFC West and the 49ers might surprise you a little bit. And talk about a guy who's,
surprised you.
Surprised me. We'll talk about that next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Do you have something that haunts you from your past, something that maybe you're a lot younger that you just can't shake? It's still hanging on with you, and it's maybe had an impact on you when you were young, and it's still following you around. Well, how would you like that removed from your record? It can happen. You need some help doing that, that clean start. Well, the Gonzalez Law Offices can help you with many things, but maybe you need help with something just like this. They do expungements that can help you get that fresh start you were looking for. Jonathan Gonzalez and his law offices and his team, they're right here in the heart of downtown, and he's here for you. He's here for that. He's here for maybe an auto accident, wrongful termination, whatever it might be. The fact is he's local. He's not rushing through these cases. He's willing to go to the courtroom for you. He cares about the results. He cares about you. So the point is, if you want somebody you could trust and someone that is willing to go to bat for you, whatever the situation you're in, and whenever you feel you need representation, well, I suggest you go to SACLegalDefense.com. Call them at 916-304-9187. That's SACLegalDefense.com, 916-304-9187.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, when the A's blanked the Rays 3-0 on the 19th, it marked the A's 11th shutout this year, and that's third best in the American League. It also was their 54th win, so 16 more for 70. Now, the A's won just 50 games a year ago, so a 20-game improvement last year to this year, that would be pretty impressive.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver. That includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay to store bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
My kids call me Tom. So unnerving. Every day, the older one's like, "How you doing, Tom?" I go, hey, I'm not your fucking stepdad, all right? I wish I was. It'd be a lot easier, but I'm not.
From his multiple Netflix specials, comedian Tom Segura brings his new tour, Come Together, to the venue at Thunder Valley September 5th. Get tickets now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss Tom Segura, Come Together.
Carmichael Dave telling you Amy's Outdoor Living's having their famous annual clearance sale. Now, if things were tight and you passed on getting patio furniture this year, if it was just too hot to sit outside, now is your chance. You can save up to 70%. Yeah, 70% on their top brand names like Brown, Jordan, Woodard, Hollywood, and so many other huge names. But don't wait. The clearance sale lasts for just 5 days. And at these prices, you can't afford not to check them out. You'll also find deep discounts on natural gas barbecues and demo grills. So listen, hurry in. Check out the annual clearance sale at Amy's Outdoor Living. 5 days only. I told you it was famous. It's famous for a reason. Amy's Outdoor Living on El Camino near Watt, and inside Amy Ace Hardware, also in the El Dorado Town Center. Get up there now, and you tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we make the dream of owning a new car easy and stress-free.
With prices that you just can't say no to. Save on our best selection of the year during the final days of the Honda Summer Event.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com. Number one claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
What's the...
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Because we aim to inform as well as entertain, Jason. I always like fun facts. Would you like some fun facts before we get to Manti Te'o in our preview?
Sure.
Would you like, once again, for me to go completely off script and just blow the segment?
Yes.
Okay. John Tyler is the 10th president of the United States. His friends call him John.
Okay.
He was born in 1790. His son, Leon, or he had a son, Leon, at age 63. He had a son, Leon, at age 63 in 1853. He had a son, Harrison, when he was 75 years old in 1928. Harrison Tyler is currently 95 years old and is the living grandson of our 10th president of the United States, John Tyler, who was born in 1790. His grandfather was born in 1790. I paid my taxes. That always blows me away. John Tyler has a grandson that's still alive. Speaking of presidents, George Washington died in 1799. The first dinosaur fossil was discovered in 1824. The first president of the United States never knew dinosaurs existed.
Well, if you found out how he died, that makes a lot of sense.
Harriet the tortoise died in 2006. She was so old.
How old was she?
She was owned by both Charles Darwin and Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter.
Crikey.
The first successful airplane and moon landing. Yes, MC, I know. Maybe there wasn't a moon landing. We don't know. They were just 66 years apart. 66 years apart. The original Star Wars came out the same year that France executed someone with a guillotine for the last time.
Okay.
So far.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Uranus was discovered before Antarctica. Nintendo was founded in 1889 while the Eiffel Tower was still being built and Jack the Ripper was at large.
No, that's not true.
Is it not?
I mean, I guess he's at large because they didn't catch him, but his murders were in 1888.
Yeah, he was at large.
I mean, like, he's still at large then.
Marilyn Monroe and Queen Elizabeth were born less than 2 months apart. And what was the other thing here? Well, I don't remember. I don't want to share that one. I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because, and I don't know why, but the fact that George Washington never knew dinosaurs existed kind of bothers me.
What's
It
that?
bothers you?
Yeah.
That or Abraham Lincoln never knew what a doorknob was.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they weren't invented yet?
Mm-mm.
What, Jason?
Nothing.
Manti Te'o went on national television and said this about the San Francisco 49ers and the NFC West outlook.
There's a look that you see when somebody truly believes they're better than you. And I think for the past 5 to 10 years, we've got so accustomed to the San Francisco 49ers walking around, not only the NFC West, but the NFL in general as these big bullies. You watch Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel come out of the locker room with that bump box, and you watch them get into that scuffle in the pregame, and you watch their dominant defense and their run game. We got so accustomed to that. Well, I flipped on the TV and watched their past 2 preseason games when their starters played. And I just see an emotionally drained team. They've been to the NFC Championship 4 in the past 5 years. They've been to the Super Bowl twice, and they lost that Super Bowl to the same team. It reminds me of when I was with the Saints in 2017. We had the Minneapolis Miracle. We had to suffer that. That is just emotionally draining. Then the very next year, we play the Rams in the NFC Championship, and we have the no-call PI. We go through that. I can only imagine for the San Francisco 49ers what that feels like. And then I put on, we just saw the Seattle Seahawks preseason game, and you see that party that's in there.
Yeah.
The first drive, Geno Smith goes down there, hits Jackson Smith and Jigba, hits DK Metcalf, and that's without Kenneth Walker. That's without Tyler Lockett. And they're out there having a blast. Mike Robb's on there, Michael Bennett's on the broadcast. It's just a party. It's not the same, when I watch the San Francisco 49ers. So.
Okay. Not too worried about that right now.
There's no way I would have known that was Manti Te'o.
No?
He's always like, whenever I've seen him being interviewed or that, he's very soft-spoken.
I always tend to side towards somebody. If you played, I think your opinion carries weight. Played or play. But I couldn't help but have this roll through my head.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
All respect.
Yeah. All respect.
All due respect. Yeah. So if he's not due respect, then not that.
Yeah.
And by the way, he's been in NFL locker rooms, and I do appreciate that. But dude, this team has if the point is one thing people aren't talking about with a team like the 49ers, just like with the Chiefs, is you have a target on your back every single game. It's their Super Bowl. They've had to play X amount of games over the last 5 years with this crew. It's almost an entire second season. If you extra season they've had to play, it takes its toll. But dude, you can make the same argument that they're actually the hungriest team in the NFL. They've come up so close. They are, as they make fun in the chat, but like the Buffalo Bills thing, the Niners have won 5 Super Bowls. Yeah, they haven't won since 1994, and they've been back 3 times in the last decade plus. They've gone from, if they make the Super Bowl, they ain't losing. They're 5-0 to they're 5-3. And those 3 have come in the last 12 years. So there's that. And granted, the one against the Ravens was a different squad, but there's a hunger there.
For sure.
That maybe no other team has right now.
Yeah, and to be the evaluation on a preseason game, like if you see
the
that
announcers having fun,
if you see that in game 1, game 2, game 3, okay, there's maybe a storyline there, but I really would not take anything on appearance from a preseason game
at all, and just the supporting points are just weird. Now, look, I'm trying not to be biased here. He could be correct in the sense that Seattle could win the division. Things happen, man,
for sure.
I don't think it's going to be because of that. And I think at worst, I don't deny the fatigue factor, but it is at worst counterbalanced by the hunger factor, if not outweighed. And and the fact that
just the list of top 100, they got 8 in the top 100, more than any team. A lot of talent.
One of our texters in here, I think it's Marcus. A1 steak sauce was started in 1862. That means someone was in the middle of the Civil War and was like, "We need a steak sauce.
Let's go. Try this out, guys."
But my door keeps opening.
Hey, someone hear there are dinosaurs around?
Yeah, it's super new.
Why is that old guy having kids?
He's 75. Oh, shout out Robert De Niro. He's like 80 something. That
Did you see that video of him jumping into the ocean?
No. Oh no.
It just looks like a body being thrown overboard.
Old Bob De Niro having kids. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Bills and the Dolphins to lead off the top of the hour as we get into our AFC East preview. Bills and Dolphins. This time it's for real. We'll talk about that right after this.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Tuesday, expect to see plenty of sunshine. After a comfortable morning start, we're off to a hot day today, an impact day due to the heat. Expect afternoon highs to peak around 98 to 101. You can get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's been said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to a nice, cool summer, it's so true. Right now, get a complete air conditioner tune-up for just $59. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Toyota's national sales event is on now through Labor Day weekend. Whether on or off-road, make the most out of these final days of summer in a new Toyota truck. Don't miss a low lease on the fully redesigned 2024 Tacoma, or financing as low as 0% APR on the 2024 Tundra. It's time to kick up your adventure with Toyota's legendary power and reliability. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Offer only available on Tundra Capstone. Ends 9/3/24.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
A long-time listener, Mark's birthday today. Happy birthday, Mark. He says he's on his way. In my honor to answer every person on his Facebook page that wished him a happy birthday. He feels obligated. Yeah, honestly. Let's see what's going in on the chat line. Somebody said, how do you win? How do you have a roster like the 49ers and no rings? And I think the answer is the Chiefs.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it.
You gotta take your cap off or salute where respect is due on the other foot.
Yeah. One day at a time.
And look, I get that it's like some people it's a controversial thing, but it's impossible to not watch to not every once in a while on social media get some of the Barstool guys stuff over, and I do enjoy PFT and the rest of them, and on occasion, and because we love Mount Rushmores, but they do this thing where like instead of like everybody makes their own Mount Rushmore, but they pick it like teams, like a snake draft.
Okay,
and their topic yesterday has really got me. It was work phrases that you hate or corporate phrasing that you hate. So like. I think like the number one pick was like, let's circle back. And then like per my email,
synergy,
headwinds.
So I was thinking like of making one, like in my head, I started making one for here, and headwinds is like the number one pick. But you know, what is it when we've got a new initiative. But circle back is such a or let's link up, fill me in, or no, that was per my last email. I hate per my last email too. You know what? Just repeat it. just repeat it, please. From the 916, the Homer classes are showing. I think they meant glasses. Niners doing worse than last year is a very high probability. Well,
record-wise, could be.
Yeah, they were 12-5 and made the Super Bowl and lost in overtime. I would very much agree.
Odds are that'll be worse than that. Odds would be, right?
Really good odds. Like probably 60 to 70%. And when you think about it, that's actually a low number to go, considering that the bar is 12-5 or better and winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's what it would take to not be worse than last year.
Yeah, even if you say the Chiefs, let's just say the Chiefs and the Niners have the best chance to get to the Super Bowl, if that's the phrasing,
right?
They still have less odds to do it.
That's 100%. Right. That being said, if I said to you, Jason, I'll give you the old $250,000 case, Super Bowl winner, Chiefs or Niners, you can have both of them or the field.
You know what? This year, I think I take the field.
Wow. Yeah. Justin?
Yes, Justin Field. Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Buffalo Bills have been in the postseason 5 straight years.
Maybe it's their year.
Honestly, if the Niners can't win it, like if the Niners played the Bills in the Super Bowl, I would hate that so much because
you're rooting for the Niners.
Of course, I'm 100% rooting for the Niners. Screw the Bills, but I really would love to see the Bills get one. I think that'd be so awesome.
Yeah,
one of the smallest markets in all of American sports.
How would they celebrate?
Like I say this with like I'm not even tongue in cheeking it, dude. And I hope to God I'm wrong. I feel like the over-under is like 1.5 of people that would die in a Buffalo Bills Super Bowl celebration of their own. Like someone smashing through a flaming desktop and breaking their neck. Like if the Buffalo Bills win the Super Bowl, I hope everybody does PSAs. It's like celebrate.
Right. Enjoy. Be careful.
Please be careful. Please don't jump through things that are on fire.
Celebrate responsibly.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, please don't go overboard. Enjoy this. You want to be around for the next one, guys. Come on. Help a friend. See something, say something.
Yeah. Check the back seat.
Yes. Also, the Buffalo Bills, the authors of what I think is the greatest on-field protest lately in all of sports. I don't believe ever in any circumstance in throwing anything on the field. But if you're going to throw something on the field, you know what I'm talking about? You're nodding your head if you don't know what I'm talking about. Well, for example, the Detroit Red Wings do the thing where they throw the octopus on the like. I think that'd be hilarious to do what the Bills do at an NHL game. I don't know how you turn it into a fundraiser, but I'd be all for it. Also, I'd like to add, since I'm ADDing right now, this is, I think, year 5 of me saying that I think it would be a wonderful thing if the Sacramento Kings at Golden One Center once a year, either at a timeout or probably halftime, did what a lot of these other minor league clubs have done in hockey, where right around the holiday time, you basically have a fundraiser in which it's a teddy bear thing. And everybody's allowed to bring in teddy bears. And then when Scott Moak says go, everybody chucks their teddy bears onto the floor at Golden One Center. Like how cool. It looks so cool on video. Have you seen those before? Oh, yeah. And then all the teddy bears go to like needy kids that need teddy bears. Like, why can't we do that?
Yeah. People from the upper deck throwing it and hitting people on the bottom floor of the deck.
Yeah, but what didn't that happen in hockey?
Probably.
Yeah, screw it. Toughen up.
Okay.
It's a teddy bear. Anyways. Josh Allen is a stud. And there's nothing around that. They've had double-digit wins in every year over the last 5 years. They've also made the playoffs. But Jason, they lost Stephon Diggs.
They did. I don't know. And that was a weird relationship, wasn't it? Obviously, it seemed successful there. It seemed to work. I don't know what was going on with him and Josh Allen.
Because Stephon Diggs is weird.
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was weird in Minnesota. But what I mean by weird is he's a typical superstar wide receiver, but he is that stereotype. Like he's always passive aggressively or sometimes aggressively saying crap.
He was their best receiver. He was getting plenty of touches.
What I'm saying, it's so lame, dude. Like you're getting opportunity, but I feel like the curse of the best is, and Stephon's one of those. You're always open 100% of the time, and you need the ball 100% of the time, and anything less than that is uncivilized. No, it's one
hell of a model American.
That's right. Now he's in Houston now, and he's getting balls from C.J. Stroud, but that ain't,
Yeah.
I hope they're able to overcome that for their sake.
Right. Yeah, and for the Bills and for Josh Allen, like he's been great, but it's kind of that next jump for him. Whether that's, I don't know that he cares about winning league MVP,
right?
But he cares about winning at the end and getting past they ran into the Chiefs, like a lot of teams, but can they get past them and some of these other teams in the AFC?
As far as the rest of that goes, the only thing that just to wrap up the Stephon Diggs thing too, the only thing that gives me pause on that is what Stephon Diggs was making, what he wanted to make, where he's at age-wise, which isn't over the hill, but you can see the hill. And the fact that the Bills replaced him with Keon Coleman, who, as a Florida State guy, I can tell you right now, and anyone who listens to me long-term knows I'm actually almost more brutal on FSU players. It's very rare that I'll be like, this is the guy.
Right.
Derwin James is the last time I said something like this. Keon Coleman is a star.
Mm-hmm.
He is an absolute bona fide star. Health is always the thing, but if he's healthy and he plays he'll have some rookie adjustments. But
sure.
He is and by the way, he's already a star when it comes to interviewing.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are really going to get to know Keon Coleman this year, and I'm super happy about that. But the AFC East, Jason, has the opportunity. 3 of the 4 could win that division easily.
Yeah.
We'll get to the Jets in the next segment, but what about the Miami Dolphins?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the trade for Trey Lance with the Niners, or the pick that turned into Trey Lance, and what a haul that was for the Dolphins. There's no doubt they've built this team. This team on paper, to me, is a top 5 team in the NFL, but they have yet to win a playoff game in this run.
Yeah, and that's the stunning stat that I saw, that they have the longest playoff draft. Now that the Lions won last year,
wow,
it's the Dolphins. 23 seasons since they won a playoff game. And they've been in the playoffs. They've been good. The last 2 years they've been in the playoffs. They've been able to host a game. That's been part of the problem.
Yep.
The division is good. They haven't quite, they had the same amount of wins as the Bills, but the Bills won the division. But what I think they figured out is McDaniel's a good coach, and he's good with Tua.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you got the weapons around him. I mean, Tyreek Hill's fantastic.
Yep.
Waddle's a nice addition. If the run game that they kind of do by committee.
Let me ask you about the run game real quick. So a real fun question to ask your friends, many people will know this, but I think a lot of people don't, is who led the NFL in touchdowns last year? It was Raheem Mostert, the former Niner, who had 18 rushing touchdowns, stack up another 3 passing touchdowns, receiving touchdowns. And by the way, he missed 2 games. He led the league with 21 touchdowns, but you also have Devon Achane behind him. And a lot of people think Achane could start on about 20 teams in the NFL. So I know it's by committee, but Jason, do you think they're going to get, if you had to guess, who cares who gets it? Let's just say combined. Do they get the same type of numbers out of that run game, which just by the way, between the two of them, and Achane missed 6 games, 1,800 yards receiving, 1,800 yards rushing, 26 combined rushing touchdowns to go with about 370 receiving yards and another 6 touchdowns on top of that.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I would say the number would be lower than that. That's a pretty phenomenal year between the two, even with both missing games.
I feel like that's insanely difficult to catch.
Yeah.
And by the way, you got Tua Tagovailoa, who
was the leader in passing yards, right?
Right. So that offense is
McDaniel.
Ridiculous. McDaniel. And then on defense, hey, we got Calais Campbell and I know, I feel like the rumors of Jalen Ramsey's demise are a little early. He had a great bounce back year last year. They did lose Xavier Howard.
Yeah. And defensive line that went to the Raiders, Christian Wilkins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, was another guy in the top 50, I think, for the Raiders. But on paper, I would have them second just behind the Bills in this division.
Yeah. I mean, you just think about these two teams and what the Chiefs have done to teams, what Brady and the Patriots all those years, like, just kept so many of these teams out. And now that that's kind of cleaned up, the Chiefs haven't been. The Patriots are no longer the team. But AFC is just brutal, though. I just think top to bottom, the AFC has so many good teams and good quarterbacks.
Yeah, and it's kind of sucked to be a fan of like you said, the AFC East. Mm-hmm. You're just running into someone's buzzsaw every year. We'll take a break. When we come back, 2 more teams. One of them has a chance. The other probably not in the AFC East. The Jets and the proudest franchise of the new millennium, the New England Patriots. Life after Bill Belichick. We'll talk about it next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season. Pick your favorite weekly promotion, giveaway game, or theme night, and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
Sacramento, Dirks Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Parmalee.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha. And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
From the text line, that Chris is just so happy about Oasis today. You can tell. Niners didn't look good against a Raider team that sucks. Long road ahead. Can we please outlaw making any assumptions out of preseason unless somebody gets injured? If somebody breaks their leg, it's pretty safe, even though it's preseason, to say they're going to miss some games. But just a reminder to everyone. Last year, the Niners were 1-2 in the preseason.
Okay.
The Commanders were 3-0. The Jaguars and Steelers were 3-0. The preseason really, again, with the exception of injury, means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I remember. So we go about a year ago now. The preseason wrapped up. The Niners are getting ready to open up on the road in Pittsburgh. We're like, oh, that's a tough game to start. And Pittsburgh, trying not to do too much about their preseason, but you just read their record. They were 3-0. Okay, we'll throw that away. What everybody was doing was looking at their starters that played and their offensive stats in the 3 preseason games of the number ones was ridiculous. Like, it was like, whoa, they had like 6 drives, scored 6 touchdowns. This might be a really tough game for the Niners. Niners smoked them in week 1. It didn't matter. None of that mattered.
Every year we make every year the mistake is made that people put too much stock in the preseason.
Yeah.
I would say I put absolutely zero. Again, injuries. And then, there's going to be people like you've never heard of or rookies or whatever that just have amazing preseason. You're like, oh, okay. But when it comes to how a team looks,
right,
3-0, 0-3 does not matter at all.
No. Position battles, health. If you've implemented a new coordinator, defense, offense, scheme. Okay. Other than that, and how much of that are they even showing, by the way, in preseason, if you do have somebody new? So yeah, it doesn't really reflect at all of what the season could be. And, and even in seasons, things change. Teams get off to hot starts. We were talking about Philadelphia yesterday. Yeah. Incredible beginning of the year. By the end, it was like, man, they're falling apart.
I would actually venture to say that it's actually more likely the inverse of how you do in preseason is going to happen. I'll go back 1 year prior to last year, which we just read off. The undefeated teams in the preseason were the Jets, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Texans, the Raiders, and the Bears. Now, a couple of exceptions in there, but most of those teams, almost all of those teams didn't make the playoffs. Right. A couple of them had catastrophic years. So, yeah, just get out of that. The Jets are
the media darling.
And they were last year.
They were.
And
lasted for 4 plays or whatever it was.
Yeah. We all remember Aaron Rodgers coming out of the tunnel at MetLife Stadium, carrying the flag, and everyone, it was just a raucous atmosphere. And then the Achilles blows, and that's it for the Jets. Other than Aaron Rodgers having another year on him, but not necessarily mileage-wise because he didn't play last year.
Right.
And it's not like basketball where it's like, is he ever going to be the same coming back? Like Aaron, it's not like Rodgers is Mr. Mobility either anymore. I think also, you give guys like Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, which are three of the most talented people, young players at their positions. You give them a chance to kind of develop a little bit more. And I still think just about every way people thought about the Jets last year, I think they're actually a better team this year. Again, health-wise,
Right.
whatever. You still have Quinnen Williams, and you added Hassan Reddick, which I understand there's a contract issue, but I'm assuming that'll get sorted out. They're probably a better team than they were last year. And last year, people were talking about them as a potential Super Bowl favorite candidate.
Which is crazy for the team that does have the longest playoff drought. Like it's been them longer than any team in the NFL. And, I was thinking about that with that stat, and we were talking about the Giants yesterday. New York football has had it rough here for the better part of a decade. But, it's weird that now I feel like the question is Rodgers, where before it's like, well, that part's going to be fine. I mean, I know last year coming in, I think he was 1 year removed from being, a two-time MVP.
Yes.
It's still at his, back end of his career. But now the question is Aaron Rodgers going to do enough for that team to take him to the levels that they think they can get to?
I'm going to bet on Aaron Rodgers until I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Is it possible that Aaron Rodgers has hit this proverbial wall and sucks or is just not great? He's 40 years old. He'll be 41 during the season. But then there's the whole Aaron Rodgers is a stud pretty much every single year when he's healthy.
Yeah, when healthy, and he's shown that he can, lead winning teams. Could he have something like Brady did when he went to Tampa? And it's like, hey, new squad, new opportunity, talent around him, and he can help lead and guide, and he's been through the battles. That's what the Jets are hoping for.
I don't know that there's much of a reason why not. But when you look at what Breece Hall did last year from a rushing and receiving standpoint, he's just 23 years old. And everybody looked at him rushing. You remember he got that injury his first year. But he was 6 yards from breaking 1,000 with 5 touchdowns. But he also, I think, led all running backs with 76 catches for 600 yards. Now that's with the parade of clowns they had, under center, no offense, last year. You put Aaron Rodgers there, what's that going to do to Wilson, who's one of the best young receivers in the league? There's a lot going on in New York.
Yeah. So what did they get to 7 wins last year with all the things that went wrong?
I think so.
It feels like it's a legitimate 3-team race, and that's good. Dolphins, Jets, and Bills. And I think winning the division will be important here for the Jets, like just to get as many advantages as they possibly can have.
Well, 2010, we said, was the last time they made it.
Yeah.
Was that was Rex Ryan, right?
Yeah, and Sanchez, and I think they might have even been like a 1 seed. Like they were really good, 1 or 2 seed.
Let's talk about the Patriots. Post Bill Belichick era. In some ways, Gerard Mayo has an impossible task. In other ways, I think he's got some cover. You're not filling Bill Belichick's shoes. And by the way, nobody's expecting you to fill Bill Belichick's shoes. Oh, and lastly, Belichick wasn't exactly putting up Super Bowl numbers the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Mayo's got some time, but you go from the most experienced, longest tenured, and most would say greatest coach of all time to a rookie coach.
Yeah, you've definitely claimed like you are starting over.
This is the ultimate rebuild.
Rookie coach, likely rookie QB. I'm sure they're going to name Drake May the guy over Brissett. So if that's where you're going, you then have to allow, like, how much of a grace period do you think each guy has for Robert Kraft, for that organization, when for the bulk of it this last 20 years, you've been a Super Bowl caliber team?
You're talking about when you say each guy, you mean May and
the coach.
And the coach?
Yeah.
I think it just depends on level of suckitude.
Yeah.
I think Mayo has 3 years, maybe 4 to make the playoffs.
Because, I mean, they've already moved on from Mac Jones.
Right.
So it's like, no, he's not our guy.
But if if they're turning in like consecutive 1-16 seasons, right? That's. But I think if they go 3-14 this year, and then next year they're 6-11. And then the year after that, they're 8-9. And if you're showing progress, I think they're going to stick with them. Look, Drake May's 21. We just got done saying don't take anything away from preseason, except if it's a young guy you've never seen before, and you just can watch it. Like some of the throws Drake May has made are just, you can see talent there.
Yeah.
But he's thrown to Kendrick Bourne, DeMario Douglas, and Jalen Polk. Like, no offense.
Yeah.
But now, granted, especially with Polk and DeMario Douglas, you know, they're obviously younger, and you hope there's talent there. You know, Jalen Polk's a rookie, but Ramondre Stevenson is, I would say, underrated, but also he's fine.
I guess I have this question. If they have a year that's kind of expected, I think they're supposed to be one of the worst. That's kind of the belief. So let's say they have the worst record in the NFL, whatever that record is. That means you're likely picking number 1.
Yep.
You could be in the same spot like the Bears were in, where they had a QB in Justin Fields that they were kind of comfortable with, but then, oh, wow, we're number 1. We got to take Caleb Williams. We're going to trade our QB. We're going to take a new QB, and let's go because we think we've upgraded there. I don't know if the Patriots are going to be in that situation. They might be in it very soon. I don't know who the best college quarterback is or will be coming out this year. But if Drake May is fine, and then they pick number 1, there's a couple routes they can go. They can move the number 1 pick. They could add other talent around him or reboot and do the QB thing like the Bears did.
It's just so like, is Drake May the guy?
Yeah, we don't know.
It's so difficult to know.
Right.
But at least they've ripped the Band-Aid off.
Exactly.
And that's
made a decision.
And that's what you have to do. We'll take a break. When we come back, what are we doing when we come back? Jason, did I skip something?
You mushed 2 together.
I did mush 2 together. All right, good. Then I have a potpourri ready for you before we get to who's hot, who's not. And let's go streaking. We'll do that next.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
Going deep down the sideline for Aiyuk. He's got it, and he's gone. 10, 5, touchdown! San Francisco! Aiyuk! Aiyuk is on fire!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Aiyuk is on
I'm
fire!
Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, when the A's blanked the Rays 3-0 on the 19th, it marked the A's 11th shutout this year, and that's third best in the American League. It also was their 54th win. So 16 more for 70. Now, the A's won just 50 games a year ago. So a 20-game improvement last year to this year, that would be pretty impressive.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver. That includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay to store bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
Get Labor Day savings right now at Folsom Lake Kia. Coach Christie here reminding you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia for low payments now through Labor Day. FolsomLakeKia.com.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. that results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports these joints in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
I mean, at least play my favorite one. Play the music's in my head, so it's screwing with me. It's like the 9-minute song. All Around the World.
You got it.
Yeah, thanks. The father-son text line from my dad. Of course, you know it, but Kelly Brothers reports the Kelsey Brothers signed a $100 million podcast. He sent that about a minute ago.
Are you on goofball pills or something?
I said,
I didn't mean to hit that one, but it kind of
shots at my dad.
Oh,
Jeez.
my.
I said, LOL, yeah, Dad, we reported it like an hour ago. And
Good
then
at business.
He sent me something back. I don't know this an acronym. GFYS.
You don't know what that means?
Do you know what that means?
Good for you, son.
Yes. Good
Okay.
for you, son.
Well, that was nice of him.
You know what it really means, right? Okay.
Good for you, son.
Yeah.
Good for you, son.
It's well done, Jason. I think you're right.
I think I got it exactly right.
So you're gonna get a text.
Hey,
Dad, I'm gonna be staying later at school, so you're gonna have to pick me up later.
Good for
you, son.
The problem is with my dad is that my dad wants to break news to me, and he knows, like, look, Dad, that's our job. We just did it, but sometimes I'm tempted to lie to him. Okay, I hope he's not listening. Sometimes I do lie to him, and I'll just be like, wait, what?
Now you will be getting the good for you, son.
But then sometimes I don't. I feel like it's more disrespectful to lie to him about it. But it's like one of those good lies.
Is it more disrespectful to do that, or to say, yeah, we covered that an idiot?
I didn't say idiot. I said, yeah, we covered it like an hour ago, Dad.
What are you on, goofball pills or something?
Right? Jeez.
That should not be so close to good business.
That should not. By the way, that's me. I keep on muting this today. It's because I think it's because I have so many tabs open that it's so the tab space is tiny. And so I keep hitting mute. I'm going to close some of these tabs here. Babe Ruth sold this thing. Whatever. See that jersey?
I did.
They didn't even know if it was the one he wore in the called shot game because they didn't even know if the called shot happened, but it sold for like $3 million.
Well, if the called shot happened, and if that is a real jersey, then that is the jersey that he called the shot in.
Then it's a great deal.
They found dinosaur bones yet?
National TV games for the National Basketball Association. Do you know who's leading?
The Warriors.
The Warriors are number 3.
The Celtics.
At 24. The Celtics. Number 2 at 26.
Oh, let's get the Lakers on.
How about a 47-win team that did not make any significant offseason moves? The Lakers leading by 3 over the Celtics. 29 national TV games. Here's a couple of things of note when it comes to small markets. Oklahoma City Thunder with 15. The Spurs with Victor Wembanyama at 13. The Kings are sandwiched between the Miami Heat and the Orlando Magic. So they're the meat and the Florida sandwich with 6.
Oh, not much love for Miami, huh?
Miami gets 7.
Okay.
Just saying. Speaking of Orlando, let me scroll down here. That'll tie into something else I have for you, Jason Ross. The Orlando Magic offensive rankings since 2013. Are you ready? I'm going to go 13, 14, 15, all the way up to last year. This is their offensive rankings in the NBA. Okay. Mm-hmm. In 2013, they were 27th out of 30 teams. Right.
Yeah.
29th, 27th, 21st, 29th, 25th, 22nd, 23rd, 29th, 30th, 26th, and 22nd. And all I could think of when I read that stat is that the Orlando Magic are the photo negative of the Sacramento Kings. Like, if you could combine the Kings offense with the Orlando Magic's improved defense, you'd be cooking with fire.
You got a team.
You got a team, Jason.
Yeah. Well, and that of all things last year, though, I would say that was one of the areas that was a little bit down for the Kings was the offense. Yeah, compared to certainly compared to the year before.
Well, they had a top 10 defense post All-Star break. Mm-hmm. Also, did you know John Tyler has a living grandson? Our 10th president.
Yeah.
John Tyler was not the grandson was not our 10th president. That would be weird.
Yeah.
Good news, by the way. The NFL, as we have seen, now has the electronic system. It trialed out in the preseason to measure first downs. So they are going for it for the year 2024 for the regular season, and they will use actual technology that they have that they proved in the preseason, that successful run, instead of watching a bunch of old dudes trot on and off the field with sticks and a chain. So that's good news. Except the opposite. They're going to stick with the chain.
Oh.
They're not going.
Not changing the thing. Huh?
It is still pretty wild that a multi-billion-dollar sport still does that type of marking for their game.
I don't. It is incredibly wild, dude. Like, you have the technology.
Yeah, use it.
Dad just texted me GSYS. Don't know what these mean. I know I'm going to hear about it. What else do I have for you? Love you, Dad. Tour Championship this weekend. And it's got the biggest purse of any golf tournament in the history of golf tournaments.
That's a big purse.
Jason, if you were just in this tournament and you
finished last
and you shot a 100-100, you're coming home with somewhere between $550,000 and $975,000.
I could do that.
I would like to do that. 10th place in this tournament, $1.8 million for 10th place. 9th is 2, 8th is 2.3, second is $12.5 million, and if you win, whoever wins the tournament this weekend, $25 million.
Wow, it's pretty good work for 4 days.
Cash grab. There's a cash grab. I mean, come on, dogs. That's a lot of money. By the way, Scotty Scheffler won the Masters this year, Jason. I don't know if you knew that.
I did know that.
Yeah, he won the Masters. Here's the funny thing about that. What he got for winning the Masters,
the jacket,
that would have been good for 6th this weekend. 10th place in the Masters. 10th place would have been $10,000 less than 30th is guaranteed. Whereas 10th place in this weekend's event is $1.8 million.
Wow.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, good for them, right?
And they see all the money's at Live Golf.
Right? We talked to you earlier about Manti Te'o and his comments about how the Niners look emotionally drained.
Whatever that means to him.
That Manti Te'o doesn't view the emotionally drained Niners as NFC West favorites. Well, Diamador Lenore saw that, and he has tweeted out, quote, "This doesn't even matter. I used to have computer love too."
Well done.
Ouch.
Man.
Ouch.
The fair foul.
Is that going to be Manti Te'o's first line of his obituary?
Well, I mean, isn't that what you think? As soon
Yes.
as you brought him up, that's where my mind went.
So sad. Speaking of the Niners, one note here is they have Trent Williams and Brandon Aiyuk out there waiting for contracts. The 49ers are currently $38.9 million over the cap for 2025, and that doesn't count the Aiyuk extension, the Trent Williams renegotiation, and a potential Brock Purdy extension. I don't think you can give Brock Purdy an extension this summer. I just don't think they can do it. I think they're going to have to wait and then just cut everybody.
Yeah.
But that's coming, dude.
No, big payday's coming.
Remember we were talking about France, how Star Wars came out the last year that France last guillotined somebody?
Yes.
I feel like the guillotine on the Niners, it's already at the top of the thing, and everything else is laid out. It's just a matter of which heads are going in. But there's going to be some chopping.
They're chopping heads off?
The chopping broccoli.
Wow.
Yeah.
Better be on their best behavior.
Yeah, they should. We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not? Gosh. Let's see if it worked. Aaron Judge, you're on the clock. We'll go streaking next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Did you know that your largest investment asset might not be your retirement account or home? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. Most people don't realize that their life insurance policy is actually an asset they can sell. But for almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. We've even created a free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com so you can find out in seconds what we might pay for your policy. There are no fees and no obligations, just information. Knowing the value of your life insurance policy is as important as knowing the value of your home, your equity portfolio, or your finances in total. Discover the valuable information you need to understand the current market value for your life insurance, and then get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Visit abacuspays.com to learn more and use our free policy value calculator today.
At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we make the dream of owning a new car easy and stress-free.
With prices that you just can't say no to. Save on our best selection of the year during the final days of the Honda Summer Event.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
It's better over here.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Pagan Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Sacramento, Dierks Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Farmally.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha.
Did your boobs stop working?
And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
Hey, Chris.
What's that?
Do you know the answer to the question, who is hot?
Unfortunately, I do.
Okay, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of 2022, Aaron Judge has hit 150 home runs and has had 305 walks. He's the first American League hitter to have 150 or more home runs and 300 or more walks over a 3-year span since Jimmy Fox accomplished that from 1932 to 1934.
Did someone do that in the National League?
Probably.
Probably
Barry
Bonds.
Bonds.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Probably. Who's not?
Oh, we had a little teaser on this. Angel Reese.
Yeah.
So far this season, Angel Reese is shooting 43.8% within 5 feet of the basket, which is by far the worst percentage of the WNBA.
What do you think you would shoot in the WNBA from 5 feet?
Like now?
Present day, Carmichael Dave.
I want to give a real answer here. I mean, I'm 6'4". Like, do I have to create my? Am I guarded?
Yeah, of course you are.
That's important.
What would the percentage be if you weren't guarded?
From 5 feet?
Yeah,
like 70%. And we got 5-footer. Or
you would miss 30% of them.
Look, I'm just trying to be realistic. I'd say 40%.
Okay.
I'd say 40%.
So Angel Reese-esque.
Yeah, now.
I don't think you would have the rebounds at Angel Reese.
No, I would. I'd be like, good. I mean, if it came right to me. But I feel like the whole Angel Reese is getting a lot of rebounds because of her
padding her stats.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of an okay narrative. Like at first I was like, come on, guys. But I think you can say
I think it's accurate.
I do too. I do think
I mean, I don't think she's doing it intentionally. I think it's a byproduct of missing a lot of close shots, and she's a good rebounder.
She is a great rebounder. She's a great player.
Yeah.
And by the way, the good news is that's something they can work on.
Mm-hmm.
That's some. By the way, remember I was telling you earlier the Mount Rushmore of business jargons.
Companies.
I saw the Barstool guys do it. It actually cracked me up.
Good at business.
Here you go. These are excellent. These are the things that annoy you the most that you hear at work in like a corporate environment. Circle back. I'll ping you. I'm going to be out of pocket. Put a pin in this.
I'm going to be out of pocket?
Yeah, like I'm going to be out of pocket. Like I won't be reachable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's above my pay grade. Hard stop on that one. Let's take this offline. We're going to table this conversation. There's a lot of moving parts. I don't have the bandwidth for that right now. Hey, thanks for reaching out. Glad to touch base. Touch base is that one. We need to get on the same page. Because why don't you let me loop you in? And of course, we talked about earlier, per my last email. It's actually really accurate.
They
put that together. I think that was actually a really good draft on their part.
Did have the bandwidth to do it.
They had the bandwidth to do this, not having the bandwidth.
Yeah.
And finally, let's go to streak, shall we?
It's time to go streaking. Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking. Eric is saying that Angel Reese is the second coming of Giannis Antetokounmpo, adding stats to make them look better. No. Giannis Antetokounmpo is I can sniff where that's coming from as far as Giannis, especially when he's younger, miss some shots. But no, Giannis is Giannis is top 3 player in the league.
Yes.
And does a lot of things. Angel has a ways to go before she's the second coming of Giannis Antetokounmpo. All right, how'd we do?
Well, I believe it was a show first where we all selected the same player. Dave, your streak was at 1. My streak is at 1. Chris was at 7. We all 3 selected Aaron Judge.
Mm-hmm.
You do know this. He did not hit a home run because that would have been on the highlights of everything because he didn't do that. So here's Aaron Judge's day yesterday. First inning, grounded into a double play. Second plate appearance, he walked. Third plate appearance, he fouled out to first. Fourth plate appearance, he struck out.
I hate this guy.
He got up in the 9th and singled to right field for his 1,000th career hit.
That's right, as we all knew.
Yes.
Let's go, Aaron Judge.
You now love him.
Yeah.
How dare you say you hate this guy? He's a Sacramento own.
Linden.
Yes.
Look at that.
Linden?
Yeah, we're doing a
Linden,
show.
Sacramento.
Linden, Sacramento.
So Dave's at 2. I'm at 2. Chris is at 8. Gosh.
I'm Chris. I'm at 8. No, Dave, I do it in this voice out of context. Just do it.
Good for you, son.
Yes. Good for you, son. All right, so we got to pick someone?
We do. Should we all pick the same person again?
Well, I'm picking, I think I'm going to pick Bobby Witt Jr.
Okay.
I don't think Chris
Dang it, I've already used
Yeah.
him.
And who I'm picking, Chris has already picked as well. I'm going to take Luis Arias.
Luis Suarez.
What?
Luis Suarez.
I'm going to take Colt Keith.
From the Tigers?
Yeah.
The Tigers.
That's a great name.
Colt Keith?
Colt Keith. Sounds like a
To try to get to 9? That's a
dope
lot
film
on that.
star. Yeah, that's kind of random, but he's the one at 8.
You're right.
Can't.
I can talk. You and I at 2.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. What do I have?
Good luck.
Good streak. Remember we were talking about who's going to be the starter in New York, in New England?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, got an answer for you.
True competition. And I would say at this current point, Drake has outplayed Jacoby. Now I'm saying that we have to take in the full body of work, going all the way back to the spring and the beginning of training camp, and we'll see where we end up. But those are the conversations that will happen here over the next couple of days.
It's going to be May.
Gonna be May.
Yeah.
You saw Deion Sanders banned a reporter and all that. So he was talking yesterday about outside noise.
You don't care really because it don't influence you. I've never read an article or a comment and said, "Oh, that's gonna make me go harder." I'm gonna go hard regardless. But that comment just allowed me to know where you stand.
Okay.
So that's the only differential of the thing. It doesn't propel me. Where I came from propelled me.
Okay.
How I grew up propelled me. Being African American, one of few that's a head coach in college football, that kind of stuff propels me. It's not what you say. That lets me know where you stand.
He went on to say he's not negative to anyone.
I'm not negative to anybody.
Said
in here.
that, Deion.
I would challenge you and ask you why or where is this coming from. So I'm not built like that. I'm not built to hate. I'm not a hateful guy. I come with love. I think if anybody in here has had encounters with me, I don't come with the bull junk. I come with the peace and the joy. Now, when you show me where you stand, I might have to change that a little bit. So I'm not going to match your ignorance.
Mm-hmm. Bull junk.
Bull junk. I'm a lifelong, as you know, Deion Sanders fan. I watched every game he played in college. And I was as excited as anyone else that wasn't on the campus in Boulder, Colorado last year when, what was it, like the third game of the year? It was like the most watched college football game of the year. It was all hype. I still haven't figured out that, like, I don't know if Deion is, I don't know how to say this. Like, my spider sense goes off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if it's a little bit of smoke and mirrors with Deion and a little bit. And by the way, there's not that there's anything necessarily wrong with that. You're trying to hype up a program. You're trying to get it out there. And he's the biggest draw to Colorado. I think we're used to, like, okay, you're the coach and you do all that, but, it's the players. But at some point, they're going to have to do something.
Yeah, and I think last year, it's a little bit of Deion, but I'd put way more of the blame on the media. I mean, they started 3-0, and it was, there was, again, we always talk about how we have the shows up here. There was stuff going, can Colorado win the national championship? And right then and there, I'm like, there's no chance. They will not. And I think they won 5 games. Like, right. So there was a good start. He's just beginning. I think the goal should have been try to get to a bowl game. So they didn't get that. Doesn't mean it's year 2. I think he's done some good things, but for people to jump to, like, is this, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State? No, it was not.
They were 3-0. They opened up with that win over TCU, who had done gangbusters the year before. They then beat Nebraska at home pretty handily, and then they had that double overtime win over Colorado State.
Yeah.
And then it was on to number 10 Oregon, and then a home matchup against USC. And it's like, oh my God, here we go. They beat Oregon. Like, look out. Yeah, 42-6.
Yeah.
To be fair, they lost to USC by 7.
Yeah, with a huge comeback in that game, but still lost.
Then they beat Arizona State, and then they lost to Stanford, Oregon State, Arizona, Washington State, and Utah to round out the year. Yeah. Those are the only teams they lost to the rest of the year.
There's another team in there.
Is there?
Yeah.
No. Stanford, Oregon State, Arizona, Washington State, Utah.
Oh.
Right?
Well, the only ones they lost to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, they at UCLA, who's number 23. Yeah, I lost to them too. That's Jason Ross. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6 in a row.
Yeah. So 4-8 was 4-8 the final.
4-8 was the final.
Yeah.
Excellent work, and they lost 8 of 9.
Yeah,
8 of 9. Speaking of 9, Niners at 9 coming up next. Does the CeeDee Lamb deal help or hurt the Niners' chances in signing Brandon Aiyuk? Let's look at some of the big numbers from the wide receivers. And by the way, speaking of college football, Andy Thompson.
Stingers up.
Do I get my ring this year?
You're going to have to ask the coach.
I will not. Andy Thompson, coach of the Sac State Hornets, will join us at 9:13. Niners at 9 next.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the 3. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
As a mom, I'd do anything to keep my child out of physical pain.
Dr. Pamela Maida is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon.
As a doctor, I know that growth spurts can cause pain in my child's feet, and that can affect their legs and back too.
Good Feet Youth Arch supports are designed to alleviate, even eliminate common pain.
Investing in youth arch supports for your child or teen is one of the best decisions you can make.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
Experience a golf tournament as refined as you are. The Procore Championship at Silverado Resort, September 12th through the 15th. Be there as the best of Napa meets the best of the PGA Tour. With world-class wine experiences, breathtaking views, and incredible golf. It's like this weekend was made for you. The Procore Championship, September 12th through the 15th. For tickets, go to ProcoreChampionship.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
I just don't like going to church, man. I don't like the people there. People at church have like coworker vibes.
Ralph Barbosa, the super cool ass tour.
Like some of them are cool, but most of them, they're just being fake nice because they want that promotion. Like if those are the people that are going to be hanging out in heaven, I just go to hell.
Saturday, September 7th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Get tickets now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss the hilarious Ralph Barbosa live.
Maida Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT Turbo Max. In stock after rebates. Always 5 to choose from. Labor Day savings on now at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. Ends 9/3/24. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
And it ended.
Wow. Yeah.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Welcome back. This is weird. Is this weird?
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
A little weird.
Niners at 9. Welcome back.
Bit weird, isn't it?
Final hour of the program. And let's talk about contracts. CeeDee Lamb has his contract. Here's Adam Schefter on that.
Moments ago, the Dallas Cowboys and CeeDee Lamb reached agreement on a 4-year, $136 million contract that now makes Lamb the second highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. The deal includes a $38 million signing bonus, the largest ever given to a wide receiver, and he now will go and get back into training camp and begin setting his sights on the Cowboys' regular season opener in 13 days against the Cleveland Browns.
Okay. That's a lot of money.
Yes.
$100 million guaranteed over 4 years. And I don't know if the question should be, does Brandon Aiyuk deserve that? Because we've looked at numbers.
Right.
Like, You've got your Justin Jeffersons, Jamar Chases of the world, CeeDee Lambs of the world, and then Brandon Aiyuk at worst is probably at the top of that second tier.
Mm-hmm.
And when you consider the fact that he's competing with Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle, amongst others, you can make an argument that he'd have at or near the other guys' numbers in tier one if he played in those with the other teammates they have. That's not the question, though. The question is that does Brandon Aiyuk want to play for the 49ers and take less money?
Yeah, I really don't understand what Brandon Aiyuk I would really like to know what he has been thinking about in all this, because I'll go back to offseason. Remember, he had some kind of cryptic, like, it looks like they don't want me. He said that to Jaden Daniels, his former college teammate, and like, because I think they drafted Pearsall, and it's like, no, I don't think that's the case of the 49ers. Right. I thought he was a little bit strange even after the Super Bowl loss. There were just some weird things.
Very one-word answer-y.
But then, here is the holdout, but then it's a hold-in. He's at camp. He's at practice. He's with Lynch. He's with Shanahan. Yep. It's like, well, you're showing signs that you want to be here.
Yeah.
The contract they're not shortchanging him. I think by all reports, they've offered him a pretty nice contract.
Yeah.
What does he want? He's on a good team. He's a very important part of a good team. I think the Niners think he'll be, I don't know if Deebo has a longer time here or Kittle has a longer time here or Aiyuk. Age would tell you Aiyuk does.
Mm-hmm.
Purdy's young. Like, why wouldn't he be a big piece of what they're doing going forward?
And we don't even know what the problem is. We don't know. Maybe they've agreed to numbers, but it's guaranteed money. Maybe it's a signing bonus. Maybe it's the fact that the Niners want to front load or back load it based on what they're planning on doing a year from now, 2 years from now. They have the Aiyuk contract, the Trent Williams contract, which we'll get to in a second. They have a potential Brock Purdy extension and certainly a Brock Purdy extension, whether it's next year or the year after. So they got it's such a intricate board they're looking at right now. And we don't even know what the holdup is. That's the problem.
Right.
And Trent Williams, as we mentioned, is the other one. We both mentioned, no disrespect to Brandon Aiyuk, but Trent's the more important one. And now we have NBC Sports California reporting that the Niners could be without Trent Williams for the start of the 2024 year. According to Jeremy Fowler, with preseason over, he plans to continue his holdout until his contract is reworked, which places his week one availability in focus. Quote, he's been taking up golf, staying away from the team, doing his own thing. Training, of course, getting ready for the season potentially. He's not overly stressed to be out there right now. That's no shock. But he's the fourth highest paid left tackle, despite being the best in the last 4 years. Now, the other thing is, okay, he's made about $150 million so far, but that's irrelevant. It's that's saying, well, you've made enough money, and I don't believe in saying that. But he has 3 years left on his contract. Now, on the surface, he has 3 years, not a year,
right?
Not 2. He has 3 years left on his deal that he signed. Like, what are we doing here?
Right, exactly. You agree to this now? It's a bad contract?
Now,
yeah, but if a team can cut you at any point.
And that's where I'm split, because I always feel that way, but it's like, dude, I feel like the cutoff line there's got to be at least 2 years.
You want to stop that?
Guarantee all the contracts.
Correct.
We're on the same page there. That's a whole different topic. I agree. It's just not that way right now. But yes, all the contracts should be guaranteed. Or how about this? If they don't want to guarantee every contract, I mean, it's screwing the wrong people. But how about you guarantee every contract that's worth $10 or more million annually? How about we just start there?
Right.
Let's just start there.
Yeah. And I know to Chris's point, they can cut him at any point. They're not cutting him.
No. Now, his point is, to be fair, no, they're not cutting him. Unless his knee gets jacked or his Achilles, and you're talking about a 34-year-old, 300-something pound dude. If some devastating injury happens, he's probably not getting paid out on the rest of the 3 years. I understand that. But it sounds like, whereas we don't know what's going on with Aiyuk, and even though on the surface, then I would lean towards the team, not Trent Williams. Like, bro, you have 3 years left. Like, figure it out. It sounds like what he's looking for is more of an adjustment to the guarantees.
Yes, probably. Yeah. and maybe even a shorter term, like, hey, let's rework this completely and get more money right now.
If it's just simply an adjustment to the guarantees, like, because you have to factor that into the cap anyways, it's already milked into the cap, then adjust the guarantees.
Yeah.
Just adjust them. Like, I get it. It's not my money, but that's one of those things where you've already factored that in.
Right.
That seems like an easier fix than the Aiyuk situation.
Yeah. And, that's concerning, though, if there's some thought that Williams could, we already brought up last year's stats when the Niners kind of hit that lull in the season was when Trent Williams was out. He's such an important piece to the offensive line, to the offense overall, to the leadership, one of the 10 best players in the league.
Yes.
If he's missing time, that's a big deal.
That is a huge deal. And as we've said, we think that, not that you don't want Aiyuk, but if you give me a choice between having Williams or having Aiyuk available, and I think, again, I want to reiterate, I wouldn't be shocked, fall off my chair, but I would be like, take off my glasses and like, what kind of shocked if they didn't have both of these resolved. It's just because, again, go back to Bosa last year, go to Deebo Samuel the year before. I will once again bring up, like, I get blue in the face and all that. I will bring up the fact that Parag Marate is apparently, people say he's involved. He's not involved. But again, just want to reiterate, he's the chairman of Leeds United. By the way, Leeds United not doing great right now. Leeds United making a ton of this isn't a soccer thing. This is just a fact thing. They're making a ton. Told you the other day, they lead the world right now in money made off of sold players. Now they're putting bids on other people. It's my job to follow all that now. And I can tell you, Leeds United that is not a part-time job. So you're asking Parag Marate, 8 hour where it's 5 o'clock right now, PM. You're asking Parag Marate to be negotiating Trent Williams and Brandon Aiyuk, and do all this Leeds United stuff, which is a full-time deal on its own. It's not easy, Jason Ross.
Right. And so these are the kind of things that you want buttoned up, tied up, so you don't have to worry about it as, again, a Super Bowl contender, one of the favorites. You just don't want to start behind in a season. The Niners have been good about getting off to good starts.
Yes.
You just want none of this stuff to be distractions. And I'm sure that's what Kyle Shanahan is doing his best to just keep things going and pushing forward.
Justin Jefferson, 35 mil a season. CeeDee Lamb will now make 34. A.J. Brown, 32. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Tyreek Hill will make 30 million per year. So what has been happening recently to the running back situation, where a lot of running backs are getting squeezed, the exact opposite's happening. Whereas wide receivers are now, it's basically quarterback, wide receiver, and left tackle.
Yeah. And if they gave Aiyuk, and I don't know what his team would think, but if they gave him around 30,
my question is this: can they afford to?
I don't know.
I
don't know what the number
either.
is, but
and then are they stuck with a bunch of these contracts, and are they in cap hell?
Right.
Again,
sometimes you have to be there, though.
You do. And the fact of the matter is, as we said earlier, they're already 35 million over the cap for 2020 for next year. They're already 35 million over, and that's before Trent, that's before Aiyuk, and that's before a potential Purdy extension, which will be massive.
It needs to be, right? Every new quarterback that's been worth a darn basically becomes the highest paid quarterback in the game, and that might be the case for Purdy.
One more thing here. Where is it? Because I wanted to share this with you. Going back to I thought this is an interesting stat. Keegan Bradley won the BMW championship last weekend. Ryder Cup members, Ricky Fowler, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Patrick Cantlay, and Colin Morikawa over the last 2 years have combined to win 2 tournaments. Keegan Bradley just won his 3rd. It's pretty interesting.
Good for him.
All those guys. I root for him. I do. I root for him. He's had quite a few years of not having a ton of success. It's good to see. He's a great personality. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's talk to Andy Thompson, head coach, Sac State in year 3 with the Hornets. What does he have in store for this year? We'll talk about it next.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
Night out for me.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
You know I'm blind, so why do you disagree?
Jason, here's the answer.
Yeah.
You can survive on bananas alone for a limited time. They provide a decent hydration and nutrition. However, consuming a bananas-only diet will result in significant health consequences that may lead to death.
What?
Wow, talk about bringing the hammer on. Jeez. I just simply said to Jason, that this is my third banana today.
I know. I've noticed you've had quite a few bananas this morning.
I didn't have time for the protein shake because
Okay.
my wife fell asleep downstairs. So I was wondering, what if I ate nothing but bananas all day long?
Yeah.
What would happen to me other than getting sick of bananas? Well, apparently I might die. And yeah, here to help us with that.
That and more.
In year two of his head coaching tenure for our Sac State Hornets, which Jason Ross is a longtime voice of, we're very, very excited to welcome in once again, taking on. Oh God, I hate these guys.
You hate the Spartans?
I hate this. Every time. I hate the Spartans. I hope they kick the you-know-what out of them. It is Coach Andy Thompson. Andy, it's Dave. You know Jason as well. How are you this morning?
Doing great. It's game week. We're a couple days away from kicking off this season, and I'm excited to be on your guys' show. You guys do a great job.
Appreciate that. It's, I remember last year having you on, all the momentum, a couple of huge wins last year. It was really a fun season for the most part. But what's the difference, if any, in Andy Thompson now as opposed to when we talked to you last year in your what we would say the rookie year, if you will?
Oh, man. Lot, I would say. I hope I'm improving every day. That's what I ask of my players, and I've learned a lot year one. It's a challenging job, but man, is it fun. Get a chance to try to impact a lot of people. Our organization just keeps on growing here as far as how many players we have on the team. Now we have 117 players. Our support staff, they made a rule where now anybody can help you coach out at practice. They used to only give you 12 guys, but now you can have unlimited. So we've got a lot of people that have volunteered their time or that are just starting the profession that come out and help us. So trying to be organized with that, and then, still engage and have real conversations with your players as a head coach, because you don't get a chance to, have that position group all the time. So always something to do, but it's a lot of fun.
Before Jason gets to his important question, I have a typical stupid question. You said how many? 100 and how many?
We have 117 on our roster.
Okay, and I'm putting you on the spot, but about approximately how many of them are new, would you say?
Yeah, that's a great question. Probably 40.
Okay.
45. There was 95 here all summer working out in the Sacramento heat. So we had some guys that started, a little bit later that are freshmen that are coming on, and that's including walk-ons. That's including, I got a guy that's, on his 7th year of college football, and I got a guy that, is 17 that hasn't even turned 18 that's in the program. So that's the unique thing of college football is you really have some wide ranges because of the COVID still out there as far as guys having years. So yeah, you got to keep them all happy.
Here's where I'm heading. So I don't know that I know 117 people. So I'm assuming
you definitely do. You're well known in this area.
If they all walked into your office one by one right now, I'm assuming you'd know all their names.
Yes.
But do you have to do like tricks or something to because you got to learn names in a really short time, coach, plus all the other X's and O's. I feel like this is an underrated part of being a college football coach. You have to know
family members and all that.
Right. You have to know 117 players and 40-something of them are brand new. Do you have like a linebacker rhymes with Di and his name is Fred? Like, how do you do that?
You got a lot of these charts. I think I can show you one, so that's just the defensive side of the ball. And then you got an offensive one, and then you got multiple kickers. So definitely a challenge. I do think, the time we spend together, though, especially in the month of August, we just, we finished our 20th practice yesterday, 21. Sorry, they're all running together, but we do spend a lot of time in the month of August. 2/3 of the entire your practices for the entire season are in the month of August. A lot of people don't know that about college football. So we have plenty of time to get to know each other's name. The real big deal is, these years are longer now. There's 12 game season. And then in our level, if you want to win the national championship, you got to play 4 more. So that's 16 games. And so you have to have depth, and you've got to have depth throughout your program. And that's something we've continued to improve. As we've been here now, I've been here, and some of the guys have been 6 years in since 2019, and we're trying to do that. Obviously, college football is changing by the hour sometimes, it feels like, and by the week on the rules. And I was listening before you guys got in here, the salary cap and talking about how you have to maneuver. And we spend a ton of time on that because we can have 63 scholarships, but we can break those up to 85. So we're always looking at, okay, where's this guy in his career? And then how can we help? Do we need to bring an older guy in, a younger guy in? So constant talking about your roster and where you're at and making sure that you have enough strong players so that you can make a full season run.
Yeah, and then how about that adjustment? You said that it's constantly changing. The portal is still relatively new. You lost a few, but you gained a few. I don't know when players tell you they may depart the program and others that you bring in. How much of a challenge is kind of dealing with now that reality of the transfer portal?
I think you either, as a college football coach, one of the best things you have to have is be able to adapt. If you don't adapt, you're going to die, or you're going to get fired. Which they fired 32 head coaches last year just at the FBS level. So I say that not because I'm a football coach. I get to coach for a living. I'm very thankful, but you do have to adapt with the different times. So there's a transfer window in January where they can come in and say, hey, coach, I'd like to do another spot. And then they have it again in April. And the April one's probably the hardest because, again, in April, you've just spent 16 weeks kind of building your team. And then somebody can say, I'd like to go somewhere else. And so that was probably the biggest adjustment this year. We had a couple guys at the, end of their career that decided to do that. That's the first time, and that was just 2 of them. But we were able to, create a new opportunity and had some guys that came in and are going to help us. So, there's pluses and minuses to everything, but I do think you got to adapt.
The great Andy Thompson, head football coach, Sac State Stingers Up, joining us right now as we do our yearly season preview, if you will. And, of course, you can hear Jason Ross on that call for the 53rd consecutive
Wow.
year. Congratulations on that. Coach, I'm going to go back. So I'm just fascinated with the psychology of college football and how it works, and especially somebody in your position. Mm-hmm. You're a mentor, you're a leader, you're a friend, and obviously you're a coach, and that's all part of that. So you mentioned 40-something newbies running in this year, and obviously the portal and everything gives it a whole different ballgame. Which outweighs the other? The heartbreak, or I shouldn't say heartbreak, the sadness of seeing kids, young men that you've been in their living rooms, you've talked to their parents, you've gotten to know them moving on, or the excitement of bringing in these new faces that you're just getting to know?
Challenging question. I would say both, in the fact that you like to see kids that work really hard get an opportunity to do what they want to do. I truly believe that they do deserve that because of how much they put into it. But it is hard when somebody moves on. And so you kind of that's like a bad loss. It stings. It it makes you hurt in your stomach for, a couple hours. And then you kind of got to get up the next day and go, hey, what do we got to do to move forward? The only thing I'm a little cautious of being too critical of players because my career, when I played, I had 3 head coaches and I had 5 different position coaches. And so this was 20 some years ago. I'm pretty old on that regard. So this has been happening with the coaches, getting other opportunities or administration deciding they want to go in a different direction. And that has affected players. I know it affected my career, never having the same position coach 2 years in a row. So I just don't think it was reported on. And now it's being reported on because players have the freedom to move. And I think if you can keep guys together, obviously you have a chance to get better because you are connected. But I do think every year is different, and every year you got to get that group together and you got to go all in and you got to try to do your very best. And I think you see it at every level, pro sports, doesn't matter what sport it is. It's kind of a 1-year deal. And then everybody looks at each other and says, hey, I'm going to either be in again for the next year or I'm not, so.
Yeah, Coach, how about then this year? You said at year 6 for you. You guys missed the 1 year for COVID, but every year you've been here, whether you were the defensive coordinator or now the head coach, the Hornets have made the postseason. You come in with a top 10 ranking. Expectations have been lifted because the program has been lifted. How have you managed that as you get ready to start this season where there's some high hopes, but you also got to, kind of ground the team? How do you manage expectations?
We try to do it with really, daily routine. We got to get into routine and we got to build our habits, and hopefully we're building successful habits that are going to take us through a long period of time. And so is really no trick other than trying to get these guys on a really good schedule and making them feel as confident as possible that they're prepared for every part of the game and in their life. And so we try to be mentors that way and build schedules that are reasonable. That's a big word for me. Kids will do a lot of things for you if they feel like it's reasonable. If you're crazy, they're going to say, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and not do that. So we try to work, a really good schedule. And then we try to make sure they're fed really well. And we try to make sure that they've got a great place to live and that they can improve if they've got those things in place. And our administration's done a good job of supporting us and our school and excited to be around Sac State because there's a lot of new things going on and there's a lot of great energy. The students are back this week and we had a big barbecue. There was 10,000 people in the quad here at Sac State, doing the Cupid shuffle with Coach Wood up there. I mean, it was pretty lively. So it's a fun place to be. I do think our program is trying to continue to improve. You asked about expectations. Whatever expectations are out there, I can tell you the people that are in this building have high ones for themselves because of how hard they work. So nobody wants to go out there and not play well. So we're always going to be critical of how we're doing that. And we're trying to bring our best every day. That's kind of our theme going forward is if we bring our best every day, we can look ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, it was a good day.
Well, we'll end on this note then. Speaking of expectations, 8-5 last year, I believe. Coach, what are your realistic expectations from this version of this team this year?
Yeah, I think we always want to chase championships. If you're not into chasing championships, I don't know why you're in the business. So we always would love to win the Big Sky Championship. And then, we've been to the playoffs and that's been great, but we're always going to try to expand that and take a run and try to go win a national championship on January 6th. So those are always going to be there. The exciting part is we've got a lot of kids that have put forth a tremendous amount of time and Thursday night, we'll get some feedback on where we're at. I think that's the biggest thing in college. You don't get any preseason games. Mm-hmm. These all count. They all go towards your resume at the end of the year. And then if you do a real good job, the committee says, hey, you get to keep playing. So we'll get some feedback on Thursday on where we're at as a program, and we'll keep going.
Stingers up, baby.
Yes.
We appreciate you each and every year coming on. Please check in with us during the year if you have time. And as always, good luck. Stingers up.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Carmichael Dave. And Jason, we'll see you soon.
Yep. Thanks, Coach.
Your Chick-fil-A will be ready before getting on the bus.
Yes. NIL deal. Jason Ross. See you, brother. Have a good one, Coach. You got a QR code on your headset or something? Or
can't let you know all the secrets.
Also, as we go to breaking news, according to the text line 510, good morning, Dave and Jason. I had mentioned I brought 3 bananas.
Yeah.
Could I survive on bananas? Be careful with a heavy consumption of bananas. Bananas are one of the few foods very high in potassium. Potassium relaxes blood vessels, has the opposite effect of sodium, which in high amounts constricts blood vessels. Too much potassium could cause a disruption in heart rhythm and in some cases lead to cardiac arrest.
We've had 2. You're okay.
Well, what's the line? If I is this the heart attack banana?
No.
Will you say, oh, did you just jinx it? Am I going to have a heart attack because you just said no?
You know what? Then don't eat it.
I'm hungry.
I'll take that off your hands.
Yeah. Also, no cramps.
Yeah.
Monkeys never cramp. Remember that?
Just mix in something else at some point.
Well, I think you just go for it and we see what the limit is.
Yeah, right. Maybe I should just. We still have that salt shaker somewhere. Just eat some salt.
Salted banana.
Yeah.
Now
hey, it evens out.
Yeah.
It's like when people are getting all hammered, then they pull out their weed vape, and I'm like, why? What are you trying to accomplish here? You're. Oh wait,
they're trying to accomplish something.
Wait, that's not the correct one. Which one where you go? You're like, oh, it's like caffeine or other uppers, and then they're drinking. It's like, well, aren't you just the same now?
Right. The upper to the downer. Now you're eating.
Well, yeah, don't man. What are we doing? All right. Well, I'm gonna have a heart attack banana, or maybe I'm gonna hand my banana to Chris. We'll be right back after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Tuesday, expect to see plenty of sunshine. After a comfortable morning start, we're off to a hot day today, an impact day due to the heat. Expect afternoon highs to peak around 98 to 101. You can get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
I'm Coach Doug Christie, urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia for huge Labor Day savings on your next new or certified pre-owned Kia. And tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeKia.com.
What sets Ashton & Price apart from other injury law firms? I'll tell you. From beginning to end, all important legal decisions are made directly between our clients and their experienced local attorney. A gate agent flying the plane, the receptionist performing surgery, not a chance. There's simply no substitute for the unique power of the direct attorney-client relationship offered by Ashton & Price. And there's never a fee until we win, and between you and me, we win a lot.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Sacramento, Dierks Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Carmichael,
Close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich, Dasha, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITDFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
PGA.com Quick 9 asked readers to complete this sentence. Golf means more than a game. To me, it means... At number 9, the banter. People love the good-natured teasing that goes on. Number 8, it's hard to explain, but I don't want to be without it. Number 7, it's an obsession. I eat, drink, and sleep golf. Setting goals is next. At number 5, golf is life. It's a career for some, a passion for most, and a ticket to college for a lucky few. At 4 and 3, a place to relax and an escape. A place to feed my soul and find a peaceful solace. At number 2, a place to learn about ourselves and others. You'll learn more in 4 hours on a golf course than almost anywhere else. Number 1, a few priceless hours to spend with friends and loved ones. Responses included time with my dad, time with my husband or wife, time with my closest friends. It's hard to beat the company you share around with. So what do you think? Why is golf more than just a game to you? Finish this sentence. To me, golf means, I'll let you think about that. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
salty foods to counteract it so I don't have a heart attack. And he goes, probably, but you should be fine. We're talking about extremes here, and everything affects people differently. Whatever. Should I do the thing, by the way, or what?
We can wait till the break.
Okay, that's fine. So that was just our rejoiner, basically?
Yes.
Are we in the segment now?
No, we haven't rejoined yet.
Oh, let's rejoin then. Yeah.
Should we rejoin?
Yeah, it feels weird. Let's rejoin. Let's just...
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Right now, she's on my
Dang it, I thought I had the instrumental.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you.
To you.
By now, you should somehow
Is it bad? Like all like in the commercial breaks, I've been looking. Okay, what website do I need to go on? What flights do I need to go to get out there? I know a good spot for an Airbnb in Manchester, but maybe I should go to London.
I have a hot take. I have a hot Oasis take. I have a hot Oasis take that factors into this segment.
Hot Oasis.
Hot Oasis. Oasis didn't even do the best version of Wonderwall.
Who did?
A guy by the name of Ryan Adams. You know
Ryan Adams?
You know what I'm talking about?
Ryan Adams.
No.
I know who he is.
Call it up, but don't listen to it. Let me know when it's ready. Ryan Adams does a version of Wonderwall. He did a remake, if you will, a few years back that I actually. And look, I'm fine with the Oasis. I just sometimes Liam Gallagher really annoys me with how he says things.
Liam does?
Yeah, Liam's the one with the glasses, right? The main one. Yeah.
He's the last rock star in the world,
bro. He's kind of a dingle. Like, forget the whole ripping off John Lennon thing and all that. Whatever. But like the way he sings "Shine" and he purposely does it. Because, it sounded like the dude from the Sex Pistols once is just dumb. You ever heard him sing Shine? Shine! Yeah. Anytime. In any song he does it. Anything that has an I-N-E in it, he sings it like that.
Iodine!
And I also don't like the fact that every single singer ever, let me get down here. Every single singer ever is like, this is, sorry for you listening on the radio, but the mic and all that. Here's Liam Gallagher every single time he's ever, let me see if I can get in this position, every single time. Today is going to be the day. He has the mic above him and he's looking almost straight up at it. And I don't know why, it just really bothers me.
Vocal coach says that's the best way to.
Well, the vocal coach is stupid.
Yeah.
Right, Jason?
That vocal
You're not
coach
kinking your throat.
can eat 3
one.
bananas.
Anyway.
I got it if you want it.
Oh, yeah. Just play it.
Just Ryan Adams.
Ryan Adams, I don't even know. Like, I don't like any of his other music, but I don't even know any of his other music. But he did. This came across my whatever.
Is this going to be some sort of joke or something like that?
I promise you. This is like 10 years old, but I think his voice cracks. Remember it? It's on the second version. Yeah, but you get the point.
Yeah, you're wrong.
He completely rethought the song and turned it into a.
He rethought it?
Well, it's the same song, but he's doing it in a different style. So listen to this on the way home. Just listen to the whole thing.
It's going to be a no for me.
It's all breathy and echoey. It was never going to be a yes for you. This could be the greatest version of the song in history.
I think I could find a better cover
of Oasis's Wonderwall.
Yeah.
Listen to the whole version.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do it on my drive to Folsom, which apparently I'm doing solo.
I'm just saying, I like Oasis. Also, kind of overrated. That's all I'm saying.
How fast are these tickets going to get sold out?
That's what I'm saying. They're overrated. They shouldn't sell this fast. They should not sell this fast.
It's been 15 years.
I get
How
it.
many people like me had a chance to go see them and for some reason couldn't? And they're like, okay, this is my chance.
All right.
I've got one shot, one opportunity.
Here's something else you'll hate. Muse, greater than signed Oasis.
Well, it depends on what you're into.
I'm into good music. That's why I'm going to Creed on Sunday.
I've seen Muse twice.
That's true. I don't want to put you in that spot I hate that where you have to like. I just think Muse is a better band. I think Muse is a better live band. Oasis is a really good live band.
You've seen them live?
Muse or Oasis? Yeah, I saw Oasis.
When did you see them live?
2001.
Oh wow.
2. It was right around my quad days. And they were at I think it was a Live 105 show in the Bay Area is where I saw them at Shoreline, I want to say. But it was either late 90s, early 2000s.
So it's like they still had those like first 2 albums that they're just like popping up.
They were fantastic. They were really, really good. Like I'm not ripping. I'm not trying. I know it sounds like I'm crashing.
To be fair, like no, this is I've seen you ripping people being hard.
Yeah, I think the even factoring in they haven't played in 12 years.
15,
whatever. I mean, Creed hasn't played in 12.
Yeah,
I'm hyped.
You're ready. Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Do you know the story about Oasis's first trip to the United States? So they thought it would be a good idea to. I'm trying to think of how to say this.
Oh boy.
Take a stimulant nasally.
Okay, so
take a nasal stimulant.
Yeah, so they're snorting pixie sticks.
But it wasn't what they thought it was.
Oh,
it wasn't Colombian. It was more American. And they'd been up for 2 days, and they all had the wrong song in the set list, and they're all playing the wrong song at the Troubadour in LA. And they said it was one of the worst performances in music history.
And then they all got in a giant drunken fight with each other. It's another thing, they fight too much. I don't know.
Doesn't that prove they're brothers?
Yeah, but they like fist fight a lot as adults. I mean, whatever. All I know,
haven't fist fought in 15 years.
A's at Reds. Oh man, Jason, what is most exciting about this matchup for you? A's Reds in Cincinnati.
A rematch of the
91
World Series.
Was it Rio?
90, I think.
Logan Webb on the bump. You know he hails from Rockland.
Yeah, and he's a big Kings fan. Go Logan Webb.
Go Logan Webb. He's
like him.
He will be taking on the Milwaukee Brewers really all by himself.
Yeah, it's just him.
Nobody else.
Yeah.
On this day in 1982, Richard Henderson. Is Ricky short for Richard? Am I doing that right? I gotta find it. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me at all if his actual birth name was Ricky. To be honest, I feel like I should know that.
Rick Henderson.
Oh my God, I hope it's something like Elmer Richard Henderson Jr. I've never looked this up, and I feel like we should all know this. Ricky Henderson's given name, nailed it, is Ricky Nelson Henley Henderson.
Nice.
Henley Henderson is awesome, by the way.
Good Ricky Henderson.
That's elite. Steals his 119th base.
That's robbery.
Breaking Lou Brock's record.
Yep.
Yeah, Ricky Henderson, biggest thief in the history of baseball.
Correct.
Yeah, and he celebrated. Wow, weird, great example for the kids. On this day in 1995, Tiger Woods wins the U.S. Amateur Championship.
That would lead to a pretty good career.
I will never forget the Hello World press conference. I believe his debut tournament was in Milwaukee. And remember, he hit a hole-in-one in that tournament?
I don't remember.
He hit a hole-in-one in his debut tournament on the PGA. And in 2017, God, really? 7 years ago, Floyd Mayweather fought Conor McGregor? Dear Lord. I guess, yeah. Wow.
What a fight.
The funny thing is about that is that it went 10 rounds. And yes, I think Floyd was, I don't know, dancing,
playing.
I came away from that fight actually weirdly impressed with Conor McGregor.
Yeah, it was more entertaining than I thought it would be.
Yes.
I know there's a lot of people like that was just the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, not for me.
Yeah.
I'd take that fight over these stupid Logan Paul fights.
Yeah.
That was a better fight. We'll take a break. When we come back, crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. Jason, it's not nap time yet. We got one more segment.
I need a little pick-me-up.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, it may not be Oasis style, but it's definitely energy, an American Energy Heating and Air. I got Chris. Hey, I think I got Chris on that one. Yeah, because of the little thing earlier. Yeah, your second opinion partner. Now, maybe you don't think the Ryan Adams version of Wonderwall is better. That's fine. But guess what? That's what second opinions are for. And in the case of American Energy Heating and Air, maybe you already made the silly decision to go to someone else. Maybe a company you've worked with before. I don't know. To get your AC or your heater or whatever taken care of. That's why American Energy is your second opinion partner. They'll take that quote. They'll come out to your house for free. Don't even show them the quote if you don't want to. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll almost certainly save you money. That's a fact, Jack. Been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Hey, American Energy. Making the uncomfortable comfortable. When we return, celebrity birthdays and crosstalk. Sweet. Right after this.
NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Some people just know safe drivers save more with Allstate. Just like they know that's the mating call of a blue-footed booby. And not a green-footed booby. Yeah, some people know that. And they know if you're a safe driver, you can save up to 40% with Allstate. Ain't that something?
Based on the national average premium savings for Allstate customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go. So I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partnered with Beacon. With their unique Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through September 15th, purchase GAF through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season. Pick your favorite weekly promotion, giveaway game, or theme night, and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
Labor Day savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebates. $12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price. Labor Day savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing. Lease and some other offers must trade in 2010 model year or newer. Ends 9/3/24.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Where do you go when you need someone to represent you? For me, you want someone that is local and that you can actually get to and talk with. There are plenty of big branded lawyers out there with the name, but you never get to talk to them. So go to saclegaldefense.com and connect with the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. He's local, he'll represent you, and he'll have your back. Whether it's expungements, wrongful termination, when you're in a spot when you need legal help, call the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, nonstop issue, and they're finally walking into the Good Feet store. Okay, the guy that came into my store last year that has had plantar fasciitis for 30 years. I looked at him, I said, "Are you kidding me? I've been here for 14. Where have you been?" I helped relieve a problem that's plagued him for 30 years. I mean, how do you not go home and talk about that?
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
And now,
here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Apparently, Tom down at the country station. I don't even know how it got back. Here we go. But apparently Tom heard our little segment when we were talking about Angel Reese shooting, 42.5%?
Yeah.
From within 5 feet. And I said, and was it you or Chris
Yeah,
asked me
I
what I
shoot
could do within 5 feet? And I said probably 40, 45%, whatever
I
it
used
was.
40.
40. And then Tom came down here just now and was like, you could not. And we had a fun argument. Let me be clear, because I honestly thought it was really, really apparent how much I was joking about that. Like, no, dude, I'll make like 2. These are elite. Now, granted, I'm probably taller than the average WNBA player. I probably outweigh the average WNBA player. And if it was a situation where I didn't have to run at all and I could just grab the ball and try to make a shot, I might make a shot, luckily. But if it involves like running and athleting, no, dude. These are elite athletes. But Tom, who is not one.
Oh, you haven't seen his layup.
Oh, I bet it's amazing.
Elite.
When you watch it, it's like, did that guy take 5 or 6 steps?
Usually it's 6.
Tom's a walker.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Great.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff for you guys yesterday. Just leave it at that. You guys were big winners yesterday.
Big winners.
Yeah, big winners yesterday. Styles and Watkins.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Mm-hmm. See what?
I believe. Exactly.
How are you, Chris Watkins?
Pretty good.
How many animals do you own?
2.
Oh, yeah. What are they?
A dog and a cat.
Okay. A dog and a cat, Chris. Was your dog on the thing? Yeah, the Cage to K dogs. You own any?
My dog was last, too. I had some problems.
Wow.
Kind of messed up.
Well, or maybe like at a concert, how a band.
Headliner?
Right. Like maybe your animal is the headliner.
That's you.
No.
Jason, we were trying to play Match the Animal. And I said, I just need to know who submitted what.
Mine's the...
Chris might have the best looking dog.
Yeah. No.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
100%.
It could probably win
really
awards.
Not a question.
Let me see. Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's Ruby.
It's fine. It's nice.
Do you want to really go in on dogs right now? I love Gus. I don't want to have.
No, I love your dog. I'm not saying.
We actually brought Gus with us over here. He's in.
I don't like this at all.
No, I know, right? Wow, way to make fun of disabilities, Chris.
Well,
Why'd you breed it that way?
He's literally not supposed to be alive.
Because, I bred it that way. Yes, I'm rescuing him.
Rescue. Well,
he's already here.
I'm definitely not going to say
I didn't
that.
breed him.
Yeah.
I didn't breed him. There's nothing
It's not on there.
No. Look at stepdoggos.
So cute.
What kind of dog is yours?
She is half Jindo, half husky. She's I've got a great story behind her.
Oh, please.
She was actually meant to be what they call meat dogs. She was bred to be eaten in Korea, and I actually did save her. She flew literally from Korea to my doorstep, and yeah.
All right, Chris's dog is way better than yours.
Nobody's eating my stupid
Exactly.
dog. Wow.
Exactly. Yeah. She's a miracle.
Wow.
All part of the same miracle.
All part of the same miracle.
And I mean, okay, I want to talk about it. I have really strong feelings about that I don't want to share publicly.
It's not chill. It's definitely not chill.
Right, but I also fight the whole okay, it's not my.
I think it's okay to say.
Is it?
Probably.
Is it? Okay, I'm not gonna.
I will.
Okay,
Chris Watkins will say you shouldn't eat dogs. Who makes that line though?
That's what I'm saying.
Chris Watkins, make the line, and you should not eat dogs.
I'm 100% in bed with that statement. And when I was in China with the Kings, that 2013.
I don't know where this is.
No. I am 100%. I'm not going to screw around with this. We were driving. We were in the bus and we were on our way to the. I think it was the Great Wall. And anyways, so we were in kind of a rural area, and on the side of the road, there's this and that, whatever. And I see a cage with it was a dog, but it was being prepped. And so that's where it's okay, I struggle with that because it was one of the most horrifying things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Also respectful of all cultures. All cultures.
Sure.
Right? So I don't know what the rules are there. I just know for me personally, in my little world, in my boundaries, for me and me alone.
I think it's okay to
and just me
spread that out.
Well, I don't
think you should be
But
afraid
what if other
draw a line
cultures are I'm sure they are, I'm not worldly enough, but they're hey, How dare you wear a hat inside? That is
That's
blah, blah,
fine.
blah.
Go ahead and think that. It's totally fine. Doesn't affect me at all. But don't eat dogs.
Okay, last question. And then if I took, because I've always wondered this. I won't find it out, though. No, I have. If I took a chicken, fish, a beef, and like a dog, and you cooked like a piece of them all the same way, do you think in a blind taste test you know the difference? Because I've never tried a dog.
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know why that's relevant.
I don't either.
I'm sure if you ate a human, it'd taste great.
Do you think so?
It'd be so salty and fatty. I'm sure
If you tried
it'd be great,
a piece of
but
human and
doesn't
a
mean you
piece of
should do
dog,
it.
do you think you can tell the difference?
Yes.
Jason?
I'm sure you could.
Is a dog a sandwich?
That's a great question.
Celebrity Birthday is brought to you by Crumble Cookies. I'm sure Crumble's super happy about being part of this combo. Nothing brings family. I think we can all agree. We can eat Crumble Cookies.
Yeah.
Nothing brings family and friends. I'm just saying, I'm respectful of everything. Also, courage.
I am
Crumble
until you
Cookies.
start eating.
Courage.
Happy birthday, guys, to Kevin Herter.
I already know her.
Kevin Herter today is 20. Oh, I'm going to be off by one. He's 27.
Friend. Yeah.
It's 28.
26.
29.
26, correct answer. Chris Watkins. Happy birthday to Jim Tomei.
Jim Thome.
Jim Thome.
I think he's still in his. Is he? No, he's 50 today.
Center field.
What?
What?
50? Come on. 48.
I'll say 51.
47.
54 for Jim Tomei.
Oh. Wow.
Happy birthday to former Raider running back Darren McFadden.
That was the guy.
No, he's going to be younger than I think because, yeah. I'm going to say Darren McFadden's 35.
36.
38.
37.
Chris Verlade, correct, 37.
Coming up on the show today, guys?
Dogs.
I'm out.
Who let the dogs out?
Styles and Watkins.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan